What happens when you get one island, 10 college freshmen, and 20 hot grandmas over 70 letting their silver hair down and taking out their dentures for no-holds-barred hotness? Get your artificial hips ready as each freshman finds out what an experienced lady can do with a bit of Bengay and a trick hip. The mimosas are flowing and the moo-moos are dropping on Gilf Island, and we finally get to see which grandma makes the best cookies. Tune in and find out what happens after 7 o'clock and the night lights turn on. Brought to you by Max Lube Personal Lubricant, made from genuine repurposed U.S. Space Shuttle landing gear lubricant. By the way,
there we go.
if they're not moving, they look fine. But the moment one of those fucking
Really?
eight-legged
animations?
centipede-looking pandas try to move her, yes, they look like
Why not just make the Half-Life 3 cupcake and sell it to everybody, right? Even if it leaves a terrible taste in your mouth, people will still have bought your cupcake. And the analogy breaks at some point, so bear with me, right?
And this one time, my mom bought me a shirt, and I was in high school, and I'd been powerlifting and then stopped. So I was like fucking 280 or something like that. And they were buying for 190-pound kid. So it was like a medium. And I put that on, and it was like a sausage roll with legs, man. And my mom would not stop demanding I put it on. And I'm like, put it on, put it on. Your grandma wants to see it. This might be her last year alive. And I'm like, well, if you're not going to die and have the last memory in her life be of me squeezed into this thing like a toothpaste. He'd have dinosaurs delivering your What if all you heard was a scratching at your door? And it's like,
It has really small hands, so it can't really carry
and
stuff.
so it's like it's got the box, but it's holding it like a snicker, like this. It's all. Here's your pill.
You
But
might need to package that.
it'd be a
in
surprise
more
mechanic.
marketable format.
Occasionally, the box would
Surprise
open
mechanic,
and there
there you
wouldn't be
go.
a Tyrannosaurus in it. And other times, so what if there was $1 million in one canister? You drop a railroad car, soundproof, so you can't tell. You drop a railroad car, and there's either a rabid Tyrannosaurus, probably already rabid. So, but you get a Tyrannosaurus in one, maybe some guns on him,
Fairly.
and then the other one's got $1 million. And you're like, everybody go there. And if you open the door, surprise, you get one or the other. They look like, by the way. Audibly acceptable audiobooks. Right now, you can get over 100,000 million books through the Karak's audio bookstore. New York Times classics like I Married a Werewolf, Teen Bruisers, What Is This Dark Spot, Why Can't I Pull Off My Own Face, and the classic award-winning self-help book, How to Staple Your Mouth Shut by Here is just a small sample of the audio quality that you can expect. He flicked the hair out of his face, the sweat beading off of it, his weight pressed down on her, his lithe form finding comfort in her curves. There was a sensuous quality to her body he couldn't get enough of. He slipped her bra off smoothly and tossed it onto the hard concrete floor. Bill patted the old Corvette with one hand. That's it, baby. Let me know all your secrets. An entire world is waiting for you. Just download them on the go to your Android or that one company that fucking hates headphones, so they remove the port completely. Listen on the go. Pretend you're busy so you don't have to engage with others in society. And that's right, you can do it all from the comfort of your little safety cocoon of sound, you goddamned introverts. It's best if you also don't make eye contact and beat your head like you're cooler than everyone else is. Just $19.99 a month plus taxes and fees and VAT times 2, or our subscription service that's only $19.99 a month plus VATs and fees and service times 2, and allowing our tracking cookies, you can have instant access to all that you desire when it comes to the audio realm. So join Karak's audio and audible, audibly acceptable audiobooks now, for when your eyes are just too fucking lazy to move side to side. And remember, you can't cancel at any time. Karak's audio and audible, audibly acceptable audio. By your focus in games being fractured by poor technology and a style that goes back to the 80s, even if you were born in the 90s, then look no further than ACG Slather Junk. That's right, a new line ACG products that are guaranteed to improve your hip thrust, hip fire, and sniper headshotting kills. Where all other imitators just buy something from a company and have a sticker just thrown on it so they can sell you merchandise, which really only results in you walking around with their head near your tits. Not ACG, baby, no way. These are handcrafted by the skilled five-fingered mittens of yours truly, put together with an aim to increase your juice. Look at these headphones, spray painted with ACG right on their side, and you can't tell me that won't raise your game, elevate your heart rate, and make you the best high-test, low-rest motherfucker on the planet. We've got everything: jugs, mugs, skirts, shirts, burkas, guns, cars, headphones, webcams, earbuds, ear cams, face tattoos, and genital piercings. It's all there. Like I said, this isn't just the normal item pulled from the shelves like all other creators out there and then slathered with their name. These are made from genuine angel dust, and not the snortable kind, but the kind you get when you grab an angel and wring its body free of its magical powers that slowly dies to light the frozen fires of excellence in all our products. ACG Slathered Junk. I take care of you when no one else will. All the shit total BS, and like all other creators, it's not better than normal marketed brands, but buy my shit, please. In a world where first-person shooters are relegated to been there, done that status, a new contender has arrived. Today we announce Call of Karak 2, the Karakening Limited Unlimited Collector's Ultimate Exclusive We Ran Out of Fancy Shit Names Edition. Where other video game editions just give you a couple items, we here at Crack Design Incorporated Productions want to reward you, the gamer. Now we have marketing data that proves that all the other shit you get matters more to you guys than the game. So when you buy for a limited but ultimately unlimited time and purchase the Unlimited Collector's Limited Edition, you get DLC that'd be sold later in a complete package, a gun painted like a giraffe, a gun painted like you would probably paint it, a deck of completely unrelated and all-way playing cards, a specially designed Zika-sized mask guaranteed to fit no one, and lastly, get access to the PC version early so you can beta test that bitch for us. But most importantly, for a completely unlimited time to make you feel like you need to rush out and get it, we have an oversized, completely ridiculous statue lit up with Christmas tree lights that we won't tell you how much it costs us to make, but you can bet some kid in China's pounding these out 20 a day while high-fiving a statue of Xi Jinping on his way out every morning. And to close this off, here's a list of bullet points that we needlessly make look like they're all in the special editions, but are actually just in the game. The game. A manual, like that's somehow special. An explanation of the modes right here because it's got numbers in it. It'll make you think there's more going on. And lastly, multiple times where we can use the word epic and massive to make sure that you feel like you're going into a Michael Bay movie. So buy now and join the epic, interconnected, massive, scorching, huge, big word, interactive, open, but really hub world gameplay experience. This is somehow already being claimed as a classic and instant hit and amazing by websites that haven't even fucking played it yet. So join us September never. Disclaimer, also not on early access services because we're shit with promises. And today, a special thanks to our new sponsor. Have you ever wanted to be a part of nerd culture but didn't have the money to jump into the newest graphics cards, expensive figurines, or YouTubers trying to sell you on 3D printing at home where they get a cut? Well, look no further. A company's found the perfect middle ground for people with just enough money to spend, but not enough to do anything useful with. Karak Crate, where you get a new crate of random Karak items every single month. Each month, a different box arrives at your door. Spatulas, used socks, my slightly bent and beat up cheese grater, or a cat. That's right, for only $14.99 per month, twice a month, you get a small crate sent to your house, just absolutely stock full of useless bullshit. Each pack is created to make sure that you get at least 4 rare items as well as 4 items that you won't have any fucking clue what to do with. Now, just some of the amazing things that you can get in your new Karak Crate: a pair of bloody scissors, used facial scrubber, 1/2 of a well-worn jockstrap, and the last ball of lint that my cat coughed up. Ladies and gentlemen, you won't find a better deal for something to make you feel like you're wasting your cash on crap anywhere else. And these items are nice enough to display proudly around your home as a member of the Karak Crate. Each comes with a stand made of genuine bullshit. The same bullshit anyone is trying to prattle to you like you're a rot-lipped gate mouth whenever they want you to pay for a mystery crate filled with useless shit just like this. So again, try Karak Crate. For just $21.99 per month, 4 times a month, each month, twice a month, you can get an amazing crate filled with stuff that you will have no fucking idea what to do with. Karak Crate. What happens when you get one island, 10 college freshmen, and 20 hot grandmas over 70 letting their silver hair down and taking out their dentures for no-holds-barred hotness? Get your artificial hips ready as each freshman finds out what an experienced lady can do with a bit of Bengay and a trick hip. The mimosas are flowing and the moo-moos are dropping on Gilf Island, and we finally get to see which grandma makes the best cookies. Tune in and find out what happens after 7 o'clock and the night lights turn on. Brought to you by Max Lube Personal Lubricant, made from genuine repurposed U.S. Space Shuttle landing gear lubricant. What happens when you get one island, 10 college freshmen, and 20 hot grandmas?
Wow.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'll figure it out. Okay, so Reg is... Sup, everybody? This is Karak with ACG, and I'm here with Reg and Johnny for the Christmas podcast. Sorry, it's just taking a second. We were so busy talking about tech that I forgot to actually do any work, which is why you guys pay us the big bucks. Okay, give me 1 second,
Yeah.
everybody.
The attention to detail.
It really is. It really is just, oh, you know what, though? That's worked. We'll put Silver over here in the corner like he's visiting. Okay,
He's here in spirit.
it's good to go. Sup, everybody? Appreciate you guys showing up. Somebody said they can't see us. I'm assuming you can see us now because I can see us in my podcast version on YouTube when I'm looking at us live. But thank you, everybody, for joining. This is going to be random. We decided to just randomly do it. I hope you guys like the Gilf Island brand new cartoon / sponsor. We're going to be doing more fake sponsors as we go. I thought Gilf Island sounded hot. You know, like that sounds pretty hot. 20 college kids, 20 70-year-olds with Bengay. Like, who knows what'll happen on an island? I think that's pretty cool.
Right.
I got to come up with some other really gross. I came up with a really gross one and recorded it, and I was like, yeah, I can't put that online. I can't put that on.
Even you have a line.
Well, YouTube does. And I did it, and I was like, because at the end of this commercial, I talk about, like, using grandma gear ungunk for, like, lube. But I had a lube commercial that was really raunchy, a lot of rhyming. And then I was like, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what YouTube accepts and what they don't accept. So, everybody in chat, thank you very much for showing up. I did see a question on Super Chat. Super Chats help out the channel because we do not get paid in any way, shape, or form like on Twitch. So I definitely appreciate whenever anybody does it. Unfinished sentence, $5 Super Chat. What was the first game that you guys can remember that you received as a gift? That's a good question. So that you got as a gift. It won't have to be for Christmas. It could also be a birthday. You guys remember the first? I got the Atari 2600. But game-wise, it was Phantasy Star. That was mine. You guys remember yours?
Well, I guess all the games in my childhood were technically gifts because it wasn't my money. It was like my parents buying them. I do remember the first like gift as a teen when I got a game sort of outside of that framework of being a kid. And that was Uncharted 4. My mom gifted it to me. And I actually spent a couple days at her house for I think Christmas, just binging the game, and like she was watching it. We're kind of hanging out, eating foods and stuff. It was a great time, so I do remember that.
That's not that long ago in the scheme of things. When you
I'm
mentioned
old,
Uncharted
so it
4,
is. It's almost 10 years now, but yeah.
Well, yeah, is it Uncharted 4? Yeah, I guess it is. What about you, Reg?
I'm not totally certain, but I think the earliest one I remember is The Secret of Monkey Island, the first one.
Oh, the first one.
With like,
Nice.
the big box and everything.
Yeah.
The floppy disks, the big floppy disks, not the small ones even, so
Five
the
and a
big
fourth.
ones still.
Five
Oh
and a
yeah.
fourth, baby.
Dude, remember how big the boxes were for PC games?
They were-
For no reason.
Dude, they were so good, though. Like, I remember it was almost
Satisfying.
like a bookstore, but there was a smell of, like, slight burning electric in our computer
And
store. 'cause
like
there
the
was, hard
plastic
drives,
on it and
the
stuff.
plastic.
It just like
And then a lot of them had openings. So most of the
Yes.
ones at the time were
Oh, yeah.
cardboard. It took the consoles to get the structured thing. So I would open the cardboard, and I remember Baldur's Gate, or I'm sorry, Bard's.
whoa.
Well, Baldur's Gate had like 7 discs. So
Yeah,
that
but
was a
Bard's
massive
Tale,
one.
Thief of Fate had an open, and then it had like a huge scald / like Viking poem at the back, about like Skya Bray and the location. And then on the left, I think might be like, special people you may meet. And it was just like it was something about it that was legit. Like it felt real. It was tangible. And
Yeah.
like no matter what, like you guys were saying though, Baldur's Gate's another one where you could see Baldur's Gate in the corner and be like, God damn, that thing's it was fucking it was a tome.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so good. Let's see, what do we got here? Sega Channel, somebody got Phantasy Star was epic. Those dungeons were hard to map out. Freedom Fighters was Eurojank's first game. Perfect name, Eurojank. Excellent. Glad to see you join. Super Mario 1. Let's see, Xenon, 1988. Techno Baseball, not Technology Baseball. Wizard of Smoke says that. Tristan, $10 super chat. Merry Christmas, gentlemen. What's your guys' favorite Christmas movie? Mine is Elf. We'll get to that in 1 second. We're going to read some more of these. Bullshit says GTA 1. Colin said Elite. Wait, I think he means the original Elite. Right? Yeah. Colin, do you mean the original Elite or Elite Dangerous? I think he means the original Elite. I never received a game as a gift. My parents hated seeing me play video games. Okay, that did happen. I did have a bunch of friends who had that specific issue. Let's see. Oh, Mark dropped a super chat, 20. I'm going to read this real quick. He says, leaving cell range, wanted to wish the crew a Merry Christmas. Thanks for all the laughs. Thank you.
Merry Christmas,
Wizard
buddy.
of Smoke says, Merry Christmas. Going all in with heart disease this year, making homemade eggnog.
All right.
Wow.
I feel like that's pretty
I'm
brave
40,
because if
so-
something goes wrong, that's going to be nasty. It's going to be this
Homemade
like
eggnog.
thick.
I don't know. Can you do wrong eggnog? I'm sure you can. But I think eggnog's
you
probably...
can ruin everything.
Yeah, you can ruin
so-
everything.
man.
I think eggnog is sort of like a pretty generic recipe.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, to get general eggnog, it is. And then people start
Okay.
adding their own, because like O'Cry's a little bit of nutmeg if you're in a little bit of cinnamon.
Right. Yeah.
But I think some people can go nuts, especially on cinnamon. I've noticed a lot of people, because one of the things that's weird about cinnamon is there's a lot of smell and sometimes not a lot of taste with cinnamon. So I've had friends over cinnamon stuff, and you eat it, and it's like a cinnamon challenge, on your piece of toast where you're like, oh!
Yeah.
Let's see. Look, Dairy Free Milk says, I just have one Christmas wish for ACG's burly man fist to be inside me. I'm just gonna post that and let that
Wow.
let that show up.
Yeah, lovely. What an image.
Die Hard Elite 1981. Colin says, yeah. So the original. I'm sorry, Rohit. I'm probably pronouncing this wrong. Rohit, I think. He says, happy holidays, guys, and the best of your family. Don't have any question, but wanted to wish you guys the best on the awesome work. Take care. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Very much. We didn't know if we were going to do it. Well, I didn't know if we were going to do it. I slept in, too. I think when Reg sent the first message at like 7 was just when I was waking up. I don't know what was going on. I don't know. Maybe I got COVID, man. We'll have to see. Let's see. What I dislike about cinnamon is that it doesn't dissolve. It smells good, but gets gritty. Yeah, cinnamon doesn't do anything. It's just there forever.
Sort of sits there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's delicious.
Yep. It is.
What have you guys been playing this week? Anything?
Yes, dude. Okay, so I finally got around to playing Inscription. It's one of those games we all heard about a lot, I think, through since it came out. But I had it in the back burner, and luckily now in the holidays, I have a lot of time to kind of binge games. So I sat down and started playing that on Tuesday, and I clocked in like 18 hours in 3 days.
Really?
So for me, it's quite unusual to binge that much. Yeah, so it's incredible, man. So in essence, like at its core, it's a card game like Slay the Spire.
Yeah.
But it has like a cool story that evolves. The game evolves, the way it looks. It changes drastically throughout it. Try not to spoil too much, obviously, because it's highly part of the goodness of the game is the surprises that kind of those changes are. But the way gameplay and narrative kind of elevate each other, fantastic. And the card game itself is also incredibly satisfying and fun. So it's one of those, like, it would have been on my top games of the year for sure if I had played it, before. This is always the problem with making those lists, because there's always a game you haven't played yet that maybe could have been there. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Reg?
The game I've been playing most was Wolf Stride on PC. Black and white mech fighting game with an asterisk. Like it's not, it's completely 2D. And it's kind of a mix between a visual novel adventure game, management game, and a mech battle game in turn-based battles. I think I'm about a third into the game so far with the 9 hours I played. So it's also a pretty lengthy game. Yeah, love the voice acting. Very good voice acting, I think. Like all the characters are very well done. The game is fully voiced. Pretty good game. I mean, I'm not.
What's that one cost? Do you remember? Sorry, I was just gonna.
Okay, I'm not a fan of like black and white for the artsy reasons.
Yeah.
But despite my mindset against that art style, it's a very good game. It's $13.
And it's fully voice acted for 13. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. Definitely, because that's the first thing you usually see go, right? Voice acting.
Yeah.
Like that other game.
And well voice acted, not like some
tablet.
indies we've had in the past as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, with someone's cousin.
Well, or the dev himself, like coding while talking.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, obviously, money reasons, you got to do it, but it can be rough. Special Week says, playing We Happy Few. We Happy Few had a couple DLCs, too. I would like to return to that. I mean, it wasn't an amazing game, but I sort of like the atmosphere. Happy Humble Burger Farm. And
that sounds good.
And Undungeon. I'll have to check those out. I've heard of Undungeon.
Undungeon I've also heard, yeah.
Halo, Forza, Outriders, Octopath Traveler. Those are 3 huge games. 4 huge games, because Octopath is also huge, right?
It is huge, yeah.
Damn, that dude's putting in work. Strawman says, just did the latest No Man's Sky expedition.
Cool.
No, dude, I don't know. It's so weird when you think about No Man's Sky. No reason to regurgitate the same conversation 1,000 times, but it's so crazy to see it still in discussion and having huge add-ons. Like, in fact, ignoring all what it had versus what it has now, one of the things I've wondered about No Man's Sky is what their plan is as a platform. Like, do they have technology in the background where they can continue to iterate it? Because that's what they seem like. The graphics jump. I don't know if you guys have seen like the comparison videos of what it used to look like versus what it looks like now.
Yeah.
And they were showing something where they were like, oh yeah, we got 50% more foliage. I mean, at that point, you're looking at a new engine, as in it looks like a new engine. So I've wondered where they're going to go with that, if they're just going to continue.
As someone who's kind of come back to it several times, it feels like they're hitting now a limit, not on the graphical side, but on the foundations, because the game systems are kind of now tacked on. So, it's the new stuff is always tacked on. So the earlier stuff wasn't designed with the new stuff in mind, if that makes sense. So it's all sort of disconnected, and they don't like play nice with each other, the different things that now exist. And especially for co-op, it has a lot of like stability problems, and you build a base and all of a sudden it's sort of broken, and with the water, they have like enough of those bugs that when it comes to it, it kind of detracts from your fun.
I bet you though, those aren't enough for them to remake it, is what I mean. Or do a No Man's Sky 2. We luckily, Absy and I played, I don't know, 40, 60 hours co-op and didn't have any bugs, which is nice. Doesn't mean other people didn't, because obvious there are bugs for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that what they could do is they could do not an expansion, but the update could be merging those together correctly. They can do that in the current system. So maybe that's what they'll do, is they'll be like, all right, because remember they fixed the tutorial. Remember the old tutorial in that game?
Yeah.
What dog shit, man. And I'm the jackass who every time I'd start that game, I'd get the worst planet ever. It's like, it's poisonous, makes your penis shrink.
Spitting in your face.
Fucking spitting in your face. It's on fire. You're on fire. The ship's on fire. Your stuff's radioactive. The stuff you need's radioactive.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the And it was so stressful at times. It was hard to get moving because radiation was hitting you and heat. And you're trying to remember, like, do I need to get stuff to start this? Which, all that's been fixed and is pretty much gone. Colin Bright, $5 super chat. Merry Xmas. Thank you very much, sir. I'm returning to Hitman. That's my big one. Was probably return, and then maybe Sleeping Dogs for a walk in the walk, depending on how much time I have. Yeah, there's a lot of games coming out in January. I wasn't really. I mean, I knew of, but their code is early. So there's like a couple games with code that's been like 2 or 3 weeks early. So playing some of those as well. Oh, just finished Life is Strange True Colors. Loved it, especially when compared to God Awful 2.
Yeah, we don't talk about 2.
Yeah, no.
Melissa
do,
B
but,
said,
yeah, not in a positive
accidentally.
light.
Whoa, Melissa B. What now? What? Oh, hang on. This skipped. I got to read this. Something weird happened. Melissa B. accidentally cut off some of my finger wrapping gifts, so can only play Nexomon since it's easy with one hand. Cute game, cheaper than Pokemon. I'll have to check it out. How do you chop off though? What if you're
Yeah,
wrapping gifts?
What are you using to wrap?
Scissors, maybe.
Oh,
The idea of snipping your
Oh.
own finger with scissors is
Right.
right up there on like a list of things I don't like that.
Because I was thinking that's some deep paper cut.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
going on
no,
there?
oh, damn.
yeah. Melissa, if you're still here, I'd like to know
Yeah.
what exactly occurred. Don't get gross though.
Disaster.
Let's see. What else do we got? Back to Loop Hero. Loop Hero's good, man. Loop Hero.
Nice. And
is
it was
good.
free on Epic the other day.
What's free on Epic today? Something big. Not Assassin's Creed. There's a big game today
Yeah.
and yesterday that was free, and I remember hearing it going like, "Oh fuck, people need to jump in."
Today it's Pathfinder Kingmaker.
Pathfinder Kingmaker. That's ridiculous.
Wait, that's
The-
not the
that's
new
the
one,
first
right?
one.
That's
No,
the
that's
first
the first one.
first
first
one.
one.
Okay. Cool.
Where is Silver? He had family today. His family loves
Yeah.
him, unlike ours. Ours were
Yeah,
like
true. We're the outcasts.
Yeah. homemade eggnog biscotti. What?
I
Isn't
don't know.
biscotti bread? Or like a doughy
kinda.
confit?
It's like pastry-like stuff.
Meldadadaj says SnowRunner and Deep Rock Galactic. SnowRunner's fucking nice. Good game. Bad Done Well, $6.99 super chat. Thank you very much. I hope you're having a good time. He says, a Christmas dono from the artist formerly known as Zero M. Oh, you changed your username. Gotcha. All right. So now I got to remember Zero M is Bad Done Well. Why do you guys all change your names?
Yeah, let's just add it to
Confuse
the
you.
You're like
dozens of
AJ in Discord
mappings.
who would change his name once a week, and I'd be like, Big Boss used to change his name constantly. So many times that people actually said something in Discord. They were like, all right, knock it off. Like now no one, because it's hard to know if you're repeating yourself. If somebody changes their name often, you're like, did we talk about this? You know, should I get ready for the whole spiel on trying to sell you some game? Or are you the person I talked to yesterday who I already did this for? Yeah, I know it's an option, people, and I know I'm bitching. I'm the old man on the yard saying, get off my lawn. Named band again, $20. Merry Christmas, chaps. I thought he said chimps. I was like, I mean, technically, I put a giant chimp on the thumbnail. So I've been playing Marvel Future Revolution. I believe that's the amazing new mobile game. Is
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
dude, that is so close to a console game in how good it is. I really like if that's the one we're talking about, the brand new Marvel game. Looking forward to playing Guardians of the Galaxy.
nice.
Max Payne 3. Tomorrow is supposedly Prey, Necro says, for free on Epic.
Oh,
Dude.
some good
Hal
games,
says,
man.
I had to stop by and wish everybody a happy holiday. Keep the dream alive, bitches. I read that as keep alive, bitches, which I was like, that's the dire, like, greeting of 2022 is,
Yeah,
well, you know,
just hang
just
in
fucking
there.
survive.
keep alive.
Yeah,
Fist
that-
bump.
that's
So,
it.
yeah, just, yeah. Hopefully, like 2022 is gonna need like it's like some kind of battle royale where we all sort of have to pretend to be enemies, but we get together in the ring and suddenly you're helping each other.
We
tag team
place
the big
bets
bad
on
guy.
like who's dropping first, and
Dude, it's ridiculous. So is anybody playing Ready or Not?
No.
haven't heard of it.
Oh, Melissa B answered. Don't do things in a hurry with sharp stuff. Basically had a relative coming. The gift needed to be wrapped before they got there. Is healing good, but had to be carterized.
Wow.
Did you do
Wait,
that
wow.
at your fucking
Cauterized?
house? Like, did you like? I get
No.
the idea of her playing Skyrim and fucking like lighting a torch and being like,
No, cauterized what, dude? What?
We don't
this is
even-
like
yeah, that's some shit. It's caveman
some Bear
shit.
Grylls shit.
Yeah, Bear Grylls.
Like cauterizing his
Yeah.
finger while he eats
while,
some
while
feces.
squatting and peeing in a jar. She's cauterizing. She's like, born again, tough, man. I got to package these presents before everybody comes over. I got to be prepped. Bad Done Well says, I had to change my name. I needed to align my YouTube with my social media. Yeah, no, I got you there. Stovetop. Carterized on the stovetop. Oh, I thought that was Melissa saying that. No, it wasn't her. I was like, dude.
Oh, dude, what the
fuck? For a moment. Yeah.
Finally got to see the podcast live. Jesus Crust says. Wait, Jesus Crust is the one who does all the Discord questions, right?
With the questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Excellent.
sir. We see you very often. I think we try to get... There it goes. I was wrong. It was not Pathfinder. Vampire was free yesterday on Epic.
Okay.
Yesterday it was Vampire, and today
I
is
was so
Pathfinder.
excited.
Yeah.
I almost got out of bed at, like, super late to like tell people, dude, like, because somebody in our Discord even asked, "Is Vampire good?" And I'm like, dude, you're in my. How dare you? How dare you not watch my? Melissa says, got it done at a fast clinic. They use big match. Oh, they do use the matchsticks. They do. I forgot. There's also a silver oxide cauterization they can use now, which is a chemical one. Wow. The gift was wrapped before they got here. Exactly. You just be like, you should tell them the story, though.
Match and fucking...
Yeah, but there's also a chemical one that they have that's like a stick. And I was reading it randomly somewhere because I've never had those issues. I mean, you know, I've cut myself, blah, blah, blah. Usually if you cut yourself bad enough, you either don't go... If you cut yourself, you either don't go in because you can fix it at home, or you go in and they'll stitch it up or whatever. But depending on the cut, I was told, and the smoothness of the cut. So raggedy cut is different than like a smooth cut. So like a chainsaw, even if it's a barely hitting your skin, might require different things than a... How did we get on to... Because she cut herself. I was like, how did we get on...
Sorry, Melissa, that's...
Dude, I have an electric chainsaw, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. And it's about a year and a half ago, I was cutting into a branch, and it bounced back, and it has the flesh sense thing. So it like, I don't know if it figures out the negative charge of a human or what it does, but it basically hit my pants and then instantly turned off at full speed, which is pretty crazy. But it ruined
whatever
the saw.
That tack is.
It's got an explosive that goes like pop, and it seizes up the motor, and you have to replace both parts, which I thought was pretty cool. But I mean, it saved my leg, right?
Wow, dude! Whoever developed that tech, I hope they're rich and well off.
You ever seen them test it on a hot dog? There's videos on YouTube where they'll have a hot dog and the guy will try to get it through the chain saw, but through the table saw before the saw can turn off, and it never happens. Like, there'll be a little nick, something that you could easily never would go to the hospital for before it blows, and it's an explosive, and it explodes, and in slow motion you see this as the saw's going, you see this ratchet thing go like bang, and it just completely locks the saw up. Square Enix is a horrible publisher. I don't know what
that's
that means.
out of the blue. Speaking a bit of everything, right? Just
what happened
tossing
with
it in the...
Matt Zoomer, following Karak since the 24-hour No Man's stream and loved it. Thank you very much. Wow.
I still remember that, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I was, man. So I'm a huge friend of Steve, of Scotty R. He's in our podcast sometimes, but he's been a patron since, I think since day one. Talked to him a lot on the side, like Billy a little bit. And, dude, he was in there just like, this is fucking tough. And I was having fun, but even he and other people watching were like, man, this is tough. You guys are playing this. Like, that's a lot. Because that was day one. That was No Man's Sky. Get it? It wasn't No Man's Sky. It was like No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
It was bad. It wasn't bad. It was just
rough.
Blah and rough, and people were beating it right away. Remember, there were people getting to the center. Black hole.
the amazing center event. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's got multiplayer. And then people were like hacking it and going, dude, it doesn't even show any multiplayer at all.
Like, sure, yeah, you could theoretically meet each other. No.
Nat Brown Nizzle. Nat Brown Nizzle says, my dad was a lumberjack and he had some security shoes, but he still cut through them with a chainsaw, and he cut the knuckles of 3 of his toes. Security shoes. I wonder what those do. I was hauling
Clearly
steel.
Not enough.
There's Brooks Construction was near me. It was my mom and dad's friend. He was like, hey, do you want to haul steel in the summer? And we'll pay you like $20 an hour. And you guys got to realize this is 94, 95. So 20 an hour was a lot. 20 an hour is like 100 an hour now. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'll do it. And I didn't really ask any questions because you're young. You're like, I'm pretty impervious to damage. So I'm like, fuck yeah, man, I'll go, dude. Fuck. And he's like, don't wear steel-toed boots. And I remember going, every job I had, If it was heavy stuff, there were steel-toed boots. And I was like, well, why the fuck wouldn't you wear it? And I found out, because we get there, I don't have steel-toed boots, and he's like, let me show you something. He takes his shoes off, and he has no front feet. The front of both feet are gone. They're gone. So he has no toes. They're at the, and I had noticed he had walked funny, because I don't know if you guys realize the toes rebound your body back. They're like, they're spring. So here's what happens. Steel-toed boots, when crushed back then under enough pressure, curled and chopped your fucking toes off. And so he hauls steel. We're talking 3, 4, 5 tons at a piece. The steel came down. He couldn't get out of the way. His feet were under it. Chopped both of them right off. It was gnarly. He was like, yeah, it's better to have them crushed than to have them snipped off. He's like, they can if there's still parts
when
there.
those are your options, it's like,
no
man,
shit.
Let's do something else. This is
it's not like
yeah,
that is true. There's some bad options. You'll never see your toes again. Is Square Enix a publisher for Final Fantasy XIV? We're being asked. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So they did. I mean, they did well there.
Mm-hmm.
They did well. You know. See, I get Square mixed up all the time because they do some games and they don't do others. But Square also did Guardians, right?
Yes.
That turned out well. I mean, it just depends, right? You never quite know. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're the best developer or the best publisher. But when somebody stated they were the worst, I don't know. I think there's some worse ones out there. But
yeah, I think, because of the recent Final Fantasy VII port and the lack of options and all the issues there, is why people were mentioning it.
Savage Sapien says, this is awesome. When I was young, my grandpa told me a bear bit 2 of his fingers off he was missing. I got older and found out it was a sawing accident. Grandpas with their stories. I fought off a bear, barely escaped alive. And then the grandma's like, actually, no, he tripped and fell and fucking put his hand in a saw. Let's see. Wow, what a great Christmas conversation.
Yeah, this is just
we always
wholesome.
have these. Yeah.
Yeah,
man,
amazing.
What else do we got going on? What's happened this week? Has anything?
Playing a lot of games, man. Playing
Yeah, I mean, there
lot.
really hasn't been any news, anything huge and robust in the news section. Nothing that's really caught my interest or caught my eye. A lot of little tech stuff on the side.
Well, we haven't seen any delays announced. I was kind of maybe expecting some of the February games at this sort of date to be delayed. But we haven't heard anything so far about the big ones, at least. So we'll see if it
I just
they
feel
stick
like
with that.
I just feel like people in chat, do you think any February game is going to be delayed? I personally feel that there just has to be. There has to be. If there isn't, man, what are they doing? Like, there's no way that they can envision a time when getting all those games is possible. But if you move them out a month, then I think your chances are much higher of somebody getting all of them, or at least another one. But I just have this feeling, you know how sometimes you've heard people say FOMO and they never get back into something, or they hear a TV show's got a ton of episodes, so they decide against jumping into it. We talked about this actually.
For sure.
I think Reg and I talked about this in the Discord chat. I just think that's games, man. I think a lot of people would look at February in January or in March and be like, I'm probably not going to fucking, jump into this new game. So I'm hoping some delay. Horizon Zero Dawn, I'm hoping doesn't delay. Elder Scrolls and Horizon Zero Dawn would make for a perfect February for me. Or Elden Ring. Elden Ring.
Oh, I was like, wait.
Sorry.
By
Go
the
ahead,
way, there's a bit of interesting news. I just scrolled through. Apparently, Titanfall 2 players have been fed up enough with the state of the multiplayer servers that someone released a mod and the server file to host the community servers.
Somebody, not the company?
Yes.
Wow. I'm not going to say I wish that happened more, but, we talked about it with NFTs or whatever. If somebody gets a game and those games shut off, almost never do companies say we're going to release the source code so people can enjoy this game continually. They just shut the game off, right? They're just like, your game's done, and that sucks. So, I mean, I wish the company had done it, but
True.
I'm not going to bitch about that. Like, I'd like to check it out to see what happens, and I certainly would hope that some people are handling security so that you don't log in and get yourself a malware, you know, or a fucking whatever there was some new virus that people were talking about that like is super, like, I can't remember what it is, but they were like, it's prevalent, blah, blah, blah. So you got to watch out for that kind of stuff, but that's very cool, man. I mean, I haven't played Titanfall 2 since maybe a month after its release. Did you guys ever return to it?
Not for a long time now.
Yeah. Dying Light. Speaking of last week's conversation of listening to multiple outlets at once, but I have a podcast, Die Hard, and Christmas music. Oh yeah, we were talking about ADD, and I was saying that like there's been times where I've had 3 musical tracks running at the same time, and what he's saying is right now he's got a podcast, Die Hard, and Christmas music playing at the same time. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, got to do it.
Overstimulation.
Yeah, sometimes, man. Sometimes you just got to run it. I can't wait for Dying Light 2. Did Dying Light 2 come out on Switch? It did, right? Dying Light 1, sorry.
Oh, Dying Light 1?
Yeah, I was like, what?
No, I don't think it has come out on the Switch.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I feel like it has. But it is coming. We know that. And
Dying Light Platinum Edition for Switch, yeah.
Oh, you're right.
It's pretty crazy what's on that Switch. Like I'm not really happy with the Switch's library. We were talking about that a couple days ago. Like if you look at consoles, I think a lot of people who have a Nintendo console are like, you know, I mean, there's the occasional good game, but it doesn't feel like they're supporting it in a weird way or being. It doesn't feel like
if you browse the store nowadays, it seems like the Steam storefront.
Right, with a bunch of
chaff, 99% shit and then maybe 1% okay games.
Yeah, but I mean that one is one that on the Switch is pretty cool. Let's see, Dying Light is pretty good on Switch. Alexi says Dying Light is pretty good on Switch. Okay, excellent. I believe the reason why I knew it was out was because I believe I did see a review where somebody was saying technically wise that game is actually doing outstandingly well on Switch.
Yeah,
like,
and it's not a streaming version. It's it says 16 gigabytes, so it's an installed.
That's cool, man. That's I mean, all the power to you. Oh, guys, you want to see something fucking awesome? Look at this shit. So, you guys remember what I like to call the best construction project that's ever existed in the last 2 years.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So the best construction project that existed in the last 2 years is for sure the ACG Xbox One/360 controller holder for tablet. So I could stream on a big tablet, but not have a controller separated. So listen to this. That used to have rubber bands, right? Rubber bands make sense. They worked. But yesterday, using all the tools that at my combined power, which is a lot, I made one that actually just works. And it works perfect. And it's magnets, so you can undo it.
Well, look at that. I mean,
I'm just saying,
I
can sell this shit.
Doesn't look bad.
And watch.
I was expecting pretty wild shit after last time.
No,
I was expecting some duct tape.
Yeah, listen to this. And it holds the largest. There's no tablet it can't hold. Because, I mean, even a 12-inch, which is the one I have, and Reg has got a big one, they're top to bottom, they're not super large. And this works. It's completely sturdy, and it allows for you to play with not having the tablet like resting against something and playing with your controller like this.
Yeah.
So I was just in bed, man. Fucking made all this. I was just so excited. I was like, dude, look what I did. I made all this. And my first version, I wanted it to be as compact as possible. You're not supposed to put magnets behind a tablet. And especially not really powerful. So I turned my tablet on, and there's this line on the screen. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I realized it was the giant tablet. And somebody's asking, does it affect them? Absolutely not. So if you set them up right, you can basically zero out the magnetic field if you put two next to the other one, you switch them. and it doesn't even touch. I've tested it. It doesn't even touch the tablet at all. It's fucking. You can't even, like, if you put a piece of metal on there, it won't stick on. There's just no metallic, or there's no magnetic field at all that goes through that. So yeah, it's so cool, man. Because Far Cry with a controller and now streaming, not GeForce Go, by the way, but streaming from my computer or Xbox is pretty close to real. I would say image quality sometimes takes a little bit of a hit, but been really unhappy with GeForce now in the last couple weeks. I don't know if you guys saw. Did you guys see my review of it in the Discord?
Yeah.
Where I was like, never touch it. Dude, I bought the 380 and was guaranteed the 380. I got it one time at the starting and then a couple times in the weeks that I've tested it. Every other time they've given me a 1080.
It's like a gotcha.
It is. It's for sure. They're shit, man. They're just pieces of shit. Let's see. Go to Shark Tank. That's true. I should go to Shark Tank. I should sell that. I'm a multimillionaire. Or somebody will watch this and make their own idea and sell it. Nice sweater, Johnny. Kyler says.
Cheers.
What is that?
Kyler. What are you? Oh, this is a Venom.
Yeah,
Christmas
or Venom.
sweater.
Venom. Yeah. What were you saying?
What do you use for PC streaming? So you're running the game on your PC and streaming that to your tablet. What is it that you use instead of GeForce?
So GeForce Now is for streaming remote.
Oh.
So what I'm doing is when I'm streaming locally, it's either Xbox to tablet or it's PC to tablet, but it's just using Moonlight.
Moonlight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Moonlight or Steam Link, the PC software version. So my tablet's got Steam Link. I think you can buy the hardware versions somewhere in the world, but they're really useless because the app is fairly low weight. My TV's got Steam Link, which is weird. Like, as an app, Samsung isn't even known for having good apps, and the app is great. So I use that.
Cool, man.
And it works really well, like no latency, which is weird because I was playing Far Cry, and I'm really quick on pointing out, like, latency there's something there. It has to be, right? It has to be. That's some kind of latency. But it's so low that I think it's to the point to where you have worse latency on a shittier HDR TV. I don't think people realize that some HDR TVs have, can get up to 50 or 60 milliseconds of latency if they're a shittier one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see. Forspoken gameplay I saw looked like it had a ways to go. Oh, yeah. Did you guys see the previews of Forspoken? What do you guys think of that game? That's like the Sony Magic game. Like,
yeah. I don't know. It looks not that great to me.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, it looked interesting, but it kind of seemed like it was doing a ton of different things. I couldn't put my finger on exactly what kind of game it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does make sense. I mean, sometimes, and I think with that game, that makes sense a lot because they bounced around during the trailer. They were like, and even in the previews, sometimes when you see a preview, a lot of times they'll use trailer footage because maybe they don't get enough B footage or whatever. It just looks the same sometimes. It reminds me of like somebody coming into a room and saying, "Can we make Horizon Zero Dawn again?" Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Absy says, "Looks like another movie game." True, it's true. That is sort of what it looks like. But you see them, right? And you're just like, it looks so. What's like Dying Light and Dead Island? I mean, not to be rude, but they are, pretty close. Main character's off-putting to me. Why is that?
I didn't like the effects going on. That's my main thing. Like the weird running wind effect when she's jumping around and stuff. Not a fan.
You know what I'm excited for, guys? More excited than I've been in years is Elden Ring. Not because you spoke about it. I'm going to bring up the effects, but it was just the effects in Elden Ring, showing the magic and finally realizing magic has its place in a Dark Souls style game. Yeah. Because guys, is there one where magic's really been?
Yeah, well, like for example, Demon's Souls magic is really good in the game.
That's the original,
but you're right?
right?
Yeah, and like in the remake as well. But you're right that in the other ones, it's always kind of been like a secondary thing.
Yeah. And dude, there's so much magic, and Like, as a Dragon's Dogma fan, you know, Dragon's Dogma looks like hammered shit, right? It looks like when you wake up after having sex and you're drunk and you look at the reality of your situation and you're like, it's time to leap out the window. But I love it. Elden Ring looks like everything I want and looks like it. It also looks like Dark Souls 3, but improved in the same way Dark Souls 3 improved on 1 and 2. It's just, it looks improved, man. It looks, I was watching more previews of it. I was watching my old footage of the breakdown, and I was like, this fucking looks, it looks like something where my interest will drive me past the difficulty, which I just don't think has been the case for a lot of the Dark Souls games, you know?
Yeah. I think I'm quite burnt out with that style of game in general, just because there have been so many, right? Mortal Shell, like you could name.
Oh yeah, forgot, yeah, which is good, and I forgot. I could forget that title, not even remember that it's out.
And some really good ones, but I feel like this one, you know, Elden Ring has enough new shit on top that shakes things up, like the open world exploration, some of that stuff.
You know, I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. Personally, I think that it looks like they've taken all their experience and said, okay, all of our experience, this is what you're going to get. And I'm excited for it. What I don't want is for them to do well and every other Tom, Dick, and Harry do a fucking Elden Ring game. You know what I mean? Like, dude, at some point, I can tell you guys, as a person reviewing, I would wake up and look at an email and get an email from a PR person and be like, oh, it's exciting. What game are they wanting me to, and be like, it's the Dark Souls of puzzle games. It's the Dark Souls of text adventures. It's the Dark Souls of Dark Souls of Dark.
Anime Souls.
You'd just be sitting there going like, please move on. Like, we got to have other styles of games. So, yeah, that is true. I would hate to see that. Mortal Shell's combat was meh. Bavari says, meh. Meh. Is Elden Ring a Souls-type game? Yes.
Yeah.
Melissa asks that. Dark Souls 1 had pretty strong magic. All right, they're agreeing with you, Johnny. Sheriff says, can you add the show right away on the podcast?
What show?
Oh, no. I get what I think he's saying, can I put when this show gets over, can I make sure it's on the podcast channels right away?
Oh.
So those go on as quickly as the system will accept them, people. I don't hold them because I think it's awesome. We try to upload them and they just get stuck. So the earlier the better, obviously, just like an orgasm. What else do we got to talk about? Anything else cool? Give us some topics in chat. Johnny, what questions do we got in the old Discordian?
Yeah, we actually got a couple questions there. Let's go to Ronan PT. What is your favorite video game you ever got? Sorry, we answered that question.
We did
already.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. This username, I don't know if I can read this. Shrek's Juicy Bussy. What are some mechanics in older games that you wish were in newer games? An example for me is how ADS works in Fear and Black. I prefer the zoomed-in screen rather than the sights taking up the whole screen. It also puts more of an emphasis on hipfire. Mechanics in older games they wish were in new games. Well, I mean, to me, it always felt like by natural selection, the mechanics that were like well loved have survived in one form or another or evolved into something else. But I would say, you know, older games like Half-Life and this kind of game, they had this nice thing about it where they never removed the control from you to like show you a cutscene necessarily.
Right.
You know, it kind of felt like you were always in control. You could always like look around and experience stuff however you wanted it. I do like that style quite a bit. And I think nowadays there's a tendency to always intersperse moments of action with cutscenes. And I think I would love to see that be a bit more seamless, where they're not like removing control from you, and instead you can kind of look around while something is happening narrative wise.
Anything from you, Reg?
The only thing I can think of is multiple save slots, because it seems like a lot of more modern games
Far
only
Cry
go
doesn't.
with the
Far Cry
one.
5,
You have
yeah.
one save slot.
Yep.
Sucks to be you. So that's a feature that I would want to have back again.
So so that's a difficult question, by the way, and a very good one. Whoever asked that, who was it? Read his name fully.
You're just,
you don't have to.
You're
Yeah,
just having a go at me.
Nat says, thanks, Karak, for the video on Bully. Watch the whole thing. I did not know Bully was so huge. Bully is huge.
Yes.
There is a Bully 2. I can't wait for it. It's going to be fucking exciting. But we got to get to the real question that matters so I can sit here and childlike explode. And that is, a person asks if we have seen the new Spider-Man movie.
I have not.
It's so fucking good.
I mean, this is
do
good.
Not understand. Go fucking watch it. Ignore your family. Ignore making eggnog. Ignore Christmas. Find a theater. Wrap your fucking head in some kind of saran wrap to protect you from COVID. Go watch the Spider-Man movie. It's that
I
good.
feel like you're rarely this excited.
I've never been
about
this excited.
anything.
It's top 5 movies of all time. Like all time,
Wow.
not just super. Dude, it makes it. Have you ever seen Darkman? Have you ever seen a shitty superhero movie like B level? Like
Right.
Darkman's B level. It is to the MCU like the MCU was to Darkman. That's the jump. It is ridiculous. It is.
Wow.
I came out of that going like, what the fuck just happened? How did they do that much in one movie? If I was a director, I would quit because I would never want to have to make a movie after that. Like prior to that,
How do you follow up
how do
that
you
act?
follow that? Dude, it's so seamless compared to all the other movies where they're like, watch me have a joke about Captain America while I put his shield under my laser beam in Iron Man. Like, it's you can sense their desperation to just grab anything they can from comic book and just jack them off into success. Like, that's all they wanted. And they were terrible. Sorry. Most of Black Panther, terrible movie. I don't care what anybody says. I know at one time it was cool to say it was good. That movie is not good. Like, and that's not the only one. There were multiple ones that weren't good, and even the good ones weren't great. This is great. And it does something I've never seen a movie ever do. It ties in older movies from completely different actors in the series and actually makes them relevant. There's a reason why right now Hollywood's looking at like a Garfield Spider-Man and a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, because what they do is not what you expect. It is not, hey, here's Tobey Maguire, high five. It's not even close to that. It's so far beyond that, I don't know how they did it. As in, they did do it, obviously. I mean, budgetary, secrecy, getting Toby in shape. I don't know. What was Toby doing? If I was Toby, I'd have a bunch of money, be eating crumpets, fucking be like 600 pounds. I don't know what Toby was doing, but he looked in shape. He looked ripped. Andrew Garfield looked in shape, which, by the way, you know, as people get older, it's a little harder, right? So it's like, so sometimes you have a guy show up and you're like, let's,
So
you know,
it all came
head up.
together.
Yeah, it all came together. I'm sure somebody's going to be
also-
like, it wasn't that good in the
It has Doctor
chat.
Strange, right?
Dude.
In it. And he's one of my
Not everybody.
favorite characters from like the universe. I think he's really, really cool.
Dude, yeah. I'm going to be insufferable about that movie for a long time, for sure. So,
And
I would-
I think Benedict Cucumberbatch, right? I love him in that role. I think it's just.
Have you ever
kinda
seen
perfect.
a role that you know is right for somebody? And even in games, we've seen it in games where you get like somebody just feels like that character in the game.
Right.
Like it works
Yeah.
voice acting wise. Yeah, that's the way it is. Speaking of that, like Christopher Judge for God of War. Now that Christopher Judge has voiced God of War, dude, Christopher Judge, the first time he showed up on like Stargate, I think that was when I first saw him, and I heard his voice, I remember thinking it's impossible for a human's voice to sound that way. Because he sounds like he's got like
Has
6
to be a filter
barrels in
or
his chest.
something.
It has to be a filter. Or a bass filter, you know, like, oh, we're going to run a little bass on the bottom side for this.
Yeah.
That's Chris Judge talking high.
It's real, man.
That's Chris Judge trying to do hi to everybody. And he sounds like he's at the bottom of a barrel made of human bones. I love the guy. When he speaks, I get like visions He's awesome. So he worked perfect. Ironside in Splinter Cell. I think Michael Ironside is the perfect. Somebody else said Michael Ironside. Yeah, as in Sam Fisher or as Sam Fisher. So, yeah, awesome. Hopefully, we see some of that stuff rub off on the video game scene. We maybe get some Spider-Man. Well, we already got Miles, right? Miles and Spider-Man are joined up in number 2, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Has anyone seen the latest Matrix? Negative.
No. Not yet.
But I've seen it's been not well received.
Not well received.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
In what way? Bad
It
acting
seems-
or not needed?
I don't
as
know
a movie?
I think more like the story, but I didn't read the details.
Okay.
I was looking over, just glancing at impressions, and it's not well loved.
Here we go. $5 super chat. Shrek's juicy pussy. It's actually Boosie, but I love that he tried to sort of get it over on Johnny. Johnny was quick enough. He figured it out. I haven't seen any Marvel movies since From Home. Will I be confused if I haven't seen Black Widow? No. I would be confused if you saw Black Widow. Another terrible fucking movie, by the way. Sorry. Special week, $5 super chat. Spoilers. Spoilers. I'm trying to delete it. He paid for the super chat, but guys, don't read that. Don't read that.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely love you, but that needs to be gonzo. So my chat is so slow. I've tried to delete it like 11 times. It's like deleted. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, guys, don't do that, or I'll have to turn super chats off. By the way, I don't think he was being a dick at all.
No,
I
I
very
mean he
clearly
said
called it out.
spoilers.
But you know how it is? Oh, guys, I did the spoil. Did you guys see that in the Discord? I did a spoilers for the Spider-Man movie, and so many people. It says spoilers, Spider-Man movie, don't come in.
Yeah.
And people fucking were like, I can't believe I clicked on this. Well, I can, because you're a jackass. It states in the how did you click it?
Yeah.
Matrix didn't have a great story. The fighting wasn't anything special, and a pretty weak ending. Okay.
Sounds like a good package.
Yeah. What other questions we got from the Discord, by the way?
Okay, so I think let me go here. We have one more two more questions. This one from Baseball Gear. What is your most enjoyable game from the past year that made you feel like a kid again? Doesn't have to be the best game, just the one you most enjoyed playing.
Now, it's gonna surprise everybody because I didn't love the game when it released, but it's got a patch recently. Back for Blood. Right?
Back for Blood.
Yeah,
Back for Blood.
Mm-hmm.
The card system doesn't change the world, but it is cool enough. And yesterday I was playing it with a bunch of people in the Discord.
Yeah.
And I was like, this game is legit fun. Yeah. So you could come in and we could play you could play and do well and get stuff and be happy. Or if you didn't get stuff and we died. We put it on hard and we just got smoked a couple times. I don't come out of it going, that sucks. I come out of it going that was, we had a very good time. Yeah. Idiot Doom Spiral has played with us. Gaming Addict has played with us. Cadiz always does. And then yesterday, who did we have? Oh, no, they wanted to, but they couldn't get in. But yeah, we've had multiple people come in. It's a good, very solid game. And it feels like a game, as in, I don't have any of the other politics on it. It's not like, the story, blah, blah, blah. It's a game that is very fun. And when I play it, I can detach. So it sounds like Inscription is going to be yours, Johnny. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, that's like the recency bias, right? Because I just kind of recently played it. But I would say overall, It Takes Two. I played that with Reg.
Oh, good
and
answer.
we talked about how you feel like a kid playing that because everything is big compared to you, right? And your toy size.
Mm-hmm.
It's that game is the joy of the year.
That's a good answer. Reg, is that yours too?
That was It Takes Two was definitely the answer.
Yeah. That game is really good. That game is really good, and certainly towards the question that was asked, I think that's a good answer for sure. That makes sense. What else do you got there, Johnny?
Okay, so last question from the Discord, John Jock 10. With the acceleration of virtual reality, will we continue to see augmented reality innovation from Nintendo? Perhaps an evolution of the old Xbox Kinect?
That's actually good. That's a good question.
You expecting AR from Nintendo?
Well, or remember, admittedly, I get where you're coming from because I mean, come on, but they did do Virtual Boy and stuff. So the idea of and I thought they did have one thing that used. Oh, it was sorry, it was Pokemon Go or whatever, right? That you could walk around.
Yeah,
and
that
use AR.
is AR.
Yeah. So I mean, I could see them going with something. I could see them doing that. I don't see them doing VR stuff.
Is the Labo stuff going anywhere?
Nah.
Did that do well enough to get like a
rip off of
continuation?
Shit, it's terrible.
It was terrible.
But that had VR.
They really screwed people over in everything that has to do with Labo. Everything.
We do have one more question if you want to hit it before we move on.
Go ahead. No.
Yeah. So this just came in fresh from Branocchio. Do you think video game companies will go back to their offices during the spring and summer and resume how development was pre-COVID?
Nope. Right? Nope.
Yeah, we were talking about this. It's just like the post-COVID is postponed. Like we don't know when that's gonna.
Yeah. Super chat from Derek. Doug Garris Vicarian's voice actor. Happy holidays. Derek, good choice because I loved Michael Hogan, who was the CSEC cop. He unfortunately is in not a coma, but he's had severe brain damage. He was also the captain, or he was not a Dama. He was Colonel Ty in Battlestar, and he unfortunately is doing very poorly. But he did the voice for I think he was called Haley or Bailey in Mass Effect. It was very good. Mass Effect had a lot of good voices. Bavari, who I think did the super chat, says, "I have a question. Can I get your opinion?" Yes, but don't put a spoiler thing in there. I'll read it. I'll look for your name. Let's see. What else do we got? Back 4 Blood was fun AF. Oh, as fun.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Strawman, I say it. I don't know acronyms for cuss words ever because I say them. So like
right.
I don't.
You just say the.
Remember when fucking Sleeve tried to make it's like fucked up as, and he would stop and wouldn't say it, and you had to come up with the rest. He would be like, "That's crazy as," and you'd be like,
"Oh God, yeah."
Remember that? And we were like, "As what?" He would just stop at the as, trying to make something happen. Don't do it; it's painful. Let's see. Another Fantastic Four is in development. Yeah, World War Z is better than Back 4 Blood. It is. As a game, World War Z is a good deal better than Back 4 Blood, but Back 4 Blood has the cards, and World War Z I've just played a lot of.
Yeah.
Zombie Army 4. Did you guys play that?
Nope, haven't.
Either. Psychonauts 2 was a game for this person, game of the year, and like feeling as a kid. Yeah, that makes sense. Psychonauts 2, I would agree with that. Dude, you're getting a lot of very positive feedback on that sweater, bro.
Right.
Like there's some groin heat going on.
Am I the only one that likes cozy sweaters in Christmas?
Dude, not me, man. I hate them. Because when you get warm in a sweater, it itches and it feels like it's gross.
Like a t-shirt is already hot enough. It's
dude, I'm trying not to raise my arms too much because I've been sweating like a bitch. Yeah, t-shirts or sweaters are for people in really good shape and people who want to look funny on Saturday Night Live. No one in the world should wear a sweater unless they're like you. And I don't even mean in good shape, but like skinnier. You got to. Okay. Sweaters are really good at making sure you never reproduce visually. Like
wow.
Dude, they're nasty. You look fine. If I wore that, people would be like, we're out. Fuck it, we're out. Let's see. Play Overcooked with a friend after the bar. Arguments as epic as putting together like IKEA products with your significant other. These guys played, because I was going to say, didn't you and
that is true.
Takedown do a lot of Overcooked?
It's like, why did you throw the meat instead of the vegetables I needed?
Oh, got you. That can come up. I don't know the ins and outs of that. Your thoughts on Digital Foundry's top 10 graphics of 2021 could be interesting. Or they couldn't be. Big thing I've been noticing with Digital Foundry is that they're trying to do everything now. So now I've noticed a couple times where they're like, well, what would you review the game as? And the person will have talked about graphics for 25 minutes and I'll be like, it's worth getting. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that they can't do that, but you need to, there has to be a reason beyond graphics or whatever, you know, unless you just say this game is worth getting for graphics. And so I don't know, I'll go check out their video, but people have been asking me lately if I watch their stuff, and I've been, unless it's John Linneman, who I love, that dude's awesome.
Yeah.
Unless it's him, I have a tendency.
John is really good.
Yeah, John is really good. And John has asked others, but I've noticed with John, even when he was here with us, he doesn't, I don't want to call it overstepping. That's just rude. Like, you can do whatever you want. But he takes into context who's there, what they've done, or what a video is discussed, and he tries to keep it in there instead of being like, well, we did the video, let's also review so we can get more hits. And I know Digital Foundry is sort of right now trying to get as many hits as possible, but
branch out a little and stuff.
Yeah. You can tell. Like, it's become really weird sometimes where you're like, what's this video? You know, John, on the other hand, though, dude, that guy, he gets some shit thrown his way, you know? If you're doing tech and there's a PlayStation fan or a Nintendo or a Sony fan or a Nintendo fan or an Xbox fan and you say something about their console, but I love him, man. I love him. Dane Crompton, $10 super chat. First ever super chat. Recently joined the Patreon. Have a wonderful Christmas. Do not get much time to try games, and your reviews have been a staple. A staple of decisions. Thank you very much, man.
Nice.
Yeah, very much. Especially when I save people some cash. I always feel good when I've saved people a little bit of cash. Because, dude, that means next time you go to a hotel, you can get yourself a sexy movie. Anytime I can save you cash, you can go online, Pornhub.
That's
premium.
one extra porno you can buy at the gas
That's one
station.
extra porno. That's one extra moment of relief in your life of
What
tiresome
century is
sorrow.
this?
What?
No, after Johnny's example, I was
Oh.
just questioning what century this is.
Yeah, true. Johnny, if I see you in a Starbucks in London, can I approach you and say hello? Mr. Nobody says that. Now, let's be honest. Two things are going on that are triggering my scary warning. One, that's a stalker's question. Two, his name's Mr. Nobody.
Right.
That's a movie. He just set up the entire beginnings of a movie by asking you that single question. So beware what your answer is. Just saying, go.
Yeah.
Johnny, if I see you in a Starbucks in London, can I approach you and say hello?
Assuming you're not Mr. Nobody from the movie, in which case steer
Exactly.
clear of
No,
me.
that's what I was
because
thinking
you're
too.
trouble. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You will never see me in a Starbucks though. But you know, if it does happen, if the planets align, feel free to say hi.
Wait.
for
Are you a
sure.
Starbucks hater?
No,
You make your own
I drink coffee
right?
at home. I would never like buy, you know, for £5 a coffee when I can make great coffee at home.
Well,
for me,
coffee.
right?
Caffeinated hot drinks.
Yeah, I've always, you know, I don't do coffee, but every time I've had a Starbucks coffee, they necessarily haven't been bad, and it's probably how I order them. But I usually have a gut ache, a pretty bad gut ache after their stuff, which most likely is connected to sugar versus anything else.
Right, they do come.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and but I do remember Joe. I think you still watch the channel. He was an employee of mine at my old job. Joe showed up one day and he's like, "Hey man, you want me to get you something at Starbucks?" Now I was tired. Whenever anybody says a sports drink says this will energize you, it never really does, especially somebody like me who's pretty inured to it. So I'm like, how many shots can you get in a drink? Is it legal to get as many as you want? And he said, yeah. So I said, can I get like whatever creamed coffee they have and just have them put 10 shots in there? And he's like, yeah, you can get 10 shots, I think. So I gave him his money and he showed up. And I remember I drank from the bottom. So you know how sediment and like different weights of liquids settle? Apparently, shots of caffeine settle at the bottom. And I sucked in the most bitter chemical caffeine. You know, coffee bean? When you get a coffee and you get that bitter astringent. And I remember drinking that and I was up forever. It worked so well. Yeah. But I remember he said the lady gave him a look like, dude, this
That
is
concentration, like 10
it
in
was
one.
a lot. It was a lot, man. It was a lot. It was really bad. I respect Joe for still doing it, especially for his boss. so you could possibly get in trouble for like poisoning his boss. But
Yeah.
he did it. I appreciate him. He was such a good guy. Let's see. Agreed, Karak. You saved me from buying the gunk. Buying the gunk? Should have Game Passed the gunk, my friend.
Game Pass. Yeah, it's a good Game Pass game, isn't it? Jump in, check out some
No.
locations.
No, I'm not.
Well,
I'm not being
no, I
mean.
get
I really
you.
don't think that's a good Game Pass game, dude.
Yeah.
Johnny, Kena, right? You like Kena?
Yes.
Kena, you explore, you battle, you do some type of puzzles, you learn mechanics. Gunk, you do nothing. Gunk,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you go right and then you can't go right, so you go left to move something to go right again. That's it. Through the entire game, that's it. That's it. There's
Right.
nothing else. That to me is not a good Game Pass game. It is not. That is not a game. That is a.
Yeah. It's weird because it looked visually
I
good.
know.
I was watching your review
It
and I was
does.
like,
It looks-
actually,
it's
this
got
looks
some cool
good.
Yeah.
But you know the way you described it, it just like it's sucking gunk in order to jump to the next platform, so you can suck more gunk in order to. Suck
Yeah,
more
like I
gunk.
said in the video, it's just a lot of sucking. Which sounds like it'd be an amazing game, but.
It's a recipe for success, but you would think. but no.
Molotov says, if I ask my imaginary boyfriend for gunk for Xmas, will I get a game? No, you will not, Molotov. You'll get the gunk, but it's not the same. And it's one of the few games where I played it and there was, because nothing happens, you can't experience anything. It was weird. It was like there wasn't enjoyment because nothing happened. There wasn't anger because nothing happened that like stymied you at all in the game. You can't be stymied in the game. So it was just any other game out there. Like if somebody says, I want a brain dead game, there are a million games out there that look better, sound better, and are more enjoyable than the gunk. And yet it wasn't a bad game.
Right.
Like it didn't bug out. It didn't crash. I play games like
Speaking
Power
of-
Washing Simulator. Yeah, that game's good. Power Washing Simulator has mechanics up the ass. I think people confuse the simulator games and think that the Zen part of it is everything. There's so much stuff going on in the simulator games.
Wait, did you say power washing?
Power Washing Simulator, dude. That game is awesome. You haven't played it?
No.
That's what it is. But it's got all kinds of attachments that you can get, and it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. What were you gonna say though, Johnny? You were gonna say.
Well, I
something.
was gonna say, speaking of terrible ideas like the gunk, why? It's just a bit of a tangent, but why in America, okay, do you folks have paper bags for groceries
Right.
without like handles? I see a lot of like in movies, right? The typical American person with a paper bag, and then inevitably they drop it and they meet the love of their life when they help them pick up the
That's
stuff
why.
from the paper bag, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I can
and
tell you
yes,
why.
I watch those kinds of
Strangely
movies.
enough,
Chapter.
I watched How It's Made, and they explain this to a T.
Go on.
So remember that in America, even one state is bigger than most nations. It's massive.
Yes.
Yeah.
To make that many paper bags, by saving and not making strings on the bags or not making blah, 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 you save billions of dollars in a long, 10, 20-year period of time. And so mills that pump those out looked at what it's like to supplement 300 million people versus a couple million that are in, you might see in another nation. And so what happens is those companies say, this is what we're going to offer, and it's in this particular way, in this particular gauge, the thickness of the paper. And so the idea of adding that would be billions of dollars extra over 20 years or 30 years, which was the prepared and the ideal way in which they wanted to do it. Because they were like, we want paper bags to be forever, as in we want to make them forever. How do you make them forever at a good clip without running out of trees and all this stuff? And that was, and we do have some. I mean, there's some stores you go to and they'll have the little, I don't know how you call it, almost like they're sewn into the paper, but they're like a string. They're like
something
a
to hold
paper
on
string.
to, because otherwise you need two hands for that shit.
So the old days of using those paper, Johnny, you would fold them. They have creases at the top, and you were supposed to fold them 3 times
and then hold,
and
or
they were
something?
gripped like a bike grip. And that, by the way, because of the mechanics of gripping something like a bike grip, the chance of that coming out of your hand is far lower than strings. The strings would break far more quickly. But nobody does that.
The other thing I noticed, dude, because it's paper, we're going deep on this, but because it's paper, if it ever gets wet, the bag just like dissolves.
But that's what you want, because if it doesn't, it's around a seal's neck.
No, but sometimes you have like a bottle in it, and
That is
because of
true.
the weight,
They,
it, like,
and they don't
gives-
care. I'm sure they're just like
Yeah.
the chance of it being in the ocean is far. We don't give a fuck about your wine, you wino.
No, but if there's some
spilling your
rain or
wine.
something,
Yeah,
or
no, I
something
mean-
spills,
oh
I
no,
was-
disaster.
it's rain.
Yeah, I would say it rarely happens, you know, and I've done a lot of groceries
Okay.
in my life, but it rarely happens. But I mean, it can. But I mean,
Okay.
even a plastic bag can rip. I've had plastic bags rip very often, in fact,
I
especially
guess,
if you
yeah.
put too much in one side. But a lot of times it's just like, you know, let's not destroy it. Let's not destroy the entire world and, you know, wrap up
Right.
some poor seal. Because, dude, you know how, remember in the old days when they would have the Pepsi 6 in a ringlet?
Oh,
Those
Oh, yeah.
things
Yeah.
killed so many. My dad, as a fish,
Jesus.
as an owner of a fish plant, every single time a boat came in, not
Yeah.
once, not sometimes, every single time, a shit ton of fish
Yeah.
would have the ringlets around their neck,
and
they
you
would
notice
grow
how they
into
don't
it.
do them anymore,
They
right?
don't.
You don't
No,
see
most
the
companies-
ringlets.
Yeah,
you
most-
see like a full packaging around the
Yep.
cans.
Yep. And the new thing now is to pay if you want to do it, almost like paying off your carbon debt. If you want to do that, you can pay a pre-fine or a finance fee on the top to basically offset the natural disasters and the fish you're killing, which to me is one of the worst things I've ever heard. Like, I hate that idea. It's like buying yourself out of, like, responsibility. Nothing rips worse than a plastic condom. That's what Bloody Meatball says.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
Okay. I'm just saying name checks out with the comment. Bloody Meatballs. You know, I
Right.
just, it does. Plastic condom, though. I don't know anybody who used a plastic condom. That'd be like wearing a cast of a G.I. Joe character. I think most
Yeah,
people
what?
used, yeah, latex.
yeah, it's just like,
Plastic.
yeah, I've
like my
never
Icy
heard
Hot
of a
thing.
plastic condom.
It's not as fun.
Yeah. That
Paper
that
condoms
sounds
are
like
better for the
improvisation.
environment. Advis says exactly,
Wow.
but it gets wet quick. In stores here in Canada, they definitely still have the ringlets. Ringlets.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. In my city, they banned plastic bags. Yeah, I think they're pretty much banned here as well.
Oh, interesting.
Rob says plastic condom. Ooh. What do we got? Is that it for questions?
Yeah, that's from the Discord. That's what we had.
Dude, the Discord as of late has been quite enjoyable. I want to say how much I appreciate
Yeah.
everybody jumping into the Discord. And of
As a-
course,
as a
showing
little-
up here.
As a little side note, I was scrolling through news, and the only other thing I really saw is that Embracer Group is buying a lot more shit again. They bought
Everything.
Perfect World, Dark Horse Comics, and some more companies. Like an animation studio, DGC.
Let me tell you one of the reasons why you always see me in the Discord get mad whenever anybody brings up a monopoly with EA. Because they don't bring up Embracer.
Yeah. True.
And I'm like, you can't fucking pick and choose, man. There's something about the old saying of like pick and choose your wars or your battles or blah blah blah. You can pick and choose the theme of it. But if you're just gonna choose the enemy, which is EA, you're gonna sound like a fucking idiot. Bye, Johnny. Johnny just left.
Bye.
He's like, see ya. But yeah, it to me, the idea of Embracer Group being a monopoly is far higher chance than EA.
Dude, they buy so much
They
stuff.
buy so much stuff. They bought Asmondi, as we talked about, the board game guys. They bought what's it called? Dark Horse, which is the
Dark
comic book
Horse
guys.
yeah. Media, printing company.
And by the way, EA will lie to you. And EA will be like, yeah, man, we're going to try to make good games. Embracer Group, go look at their original statements. They were like, we're not
True.
going to spend a lot.
They're like, no, we want to make
Yeah.
as many games as
We
possible.
want to make as many games as possible, and we don't want to spend very much money. And for whatever reason, you don't hear that from a lot of people. So I always got to bring it up. Embracer or Tencent. Tencent also bought some companies as well, didn't they? Tencent bought a couple over the weekend.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Let's see. The new Matrix movie is... Oh, yeah. Could Embracer Group have a more cartoonishly evil-sounding name? Yeah, true, right? Embracer Group just like, we will hug the life out of you.
Well, they are doing that.
I mean, Asmondi does pretty terrible stuff. So, like, if they...
Okay.
if they
So
can,
they bought.
Go ahead.
One thing they said is now that they have the Dark Horse IPs, they want to make games based on those.
Yeah, which is good. Because they wouldn't have been made prior. So even if they are B or whatever, we probably won't have anything to compare them to. They could do a pretty good job, depending on what they do. Well, for example, they financed or ended the finance of Genesis, the Dark Star. what is that? Darksiders Genesis?
Darksiders.
Yeah,
right?
Darksiders. And that's actually one of the most enjoyable, like, just nice action role-playing game I've played in a long time. So, you know, can't bitch too much about it. Where did Johnny go? Has he DM'd us?
Maybe it's the toilet break he mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah, guys. That might be it. Johnny had stated he was drinking a lot of, what was it? Apple cider.
Yes,
Dude,
I'm back. Sorry,
I forgot.
Sorry
you
about
just
that.
left, and we were like, what? But yeah, no, Johnny was saying he drank a lot of apple cider, and then that got us on the discussion of what we drink for the holidays. And I didn't realize you guys have, you said you have grape sparkling, but you don't have apple? Is that what
no,
you're saying? Or you have...
No, it was apple cider, but I was saying we also do grape juice, like sparkling grape juice sometimes.
So good. I love that stuff. So sugary, so good. Your insulin system is like, what the fuck?
It is very sweet. Yeah.
Speaking of that, man, I have nothing sweet. I got completely off of that in the last couple of weeks, and it's sort of depressing right now.
Are you getting that like sugar crash from not?
No. I'm past the keto. Like I'm past the keto flu, as they call it, which is like switching out. I feel pretty good because of that, but I admit I missed some eggnog. But I was feeling really shitty drinking the eggnog lately. Like, I don't know what was going on. I mean, let's be honest. I don't drink the normal amount anyway.
No.
Right? So, like, when
you don't fuck around.
Yeah.
You drink the amount for like 10 families.
Yeah, because it was easily 3 cartons in one day of eggnog.
Yeah.
Like, it was ridiculous. Yeah.
Like this is how much eggnog I drink. Like, that's it.
Is that, I don't have a cup that size. That's a measuring cup for me. Like, we don't even, in the house, we don't even have
That's it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Any news on the new Fire Emblem? I didn't know there was a new Fire Emblem. Oh, yeah,
Same,
somebody else asked me that. Am I going to review Ready or Not? What is Ready or Not? This is like the 4th question about Ready or Not.
I don't know.
Sorry, my dogs are shooting themselves. Must be a shooter. I'll have to check it out. You
Ready
guys
or
continue
Not,
to talk.
tactical
I'm going to go
shooter.
check this out.
Yeah.
I'm going to go check this out real quick and verify that somebody's not being eaten. Or if they are, I'm filming it.
Reg, you've been playing that Final Fantasy game that's not Final Fantasy on iPhone.
Yeah, Fantasia.
Talk to me a little bit about that, because that looked very interesting visually.
Karak could chime in on that because I was streaming it into the Discord and he watched a bunch of it as well. It's a mixed bag overall. Like the art style of it, the backgrounds can sometimes look really good. They are actually handcrafted and modeled, not in computer, but they did all the backdrops in actual manufacturing and then photographed them.
Yeah.
But sometimes the textures are super low. The music is I think the most standout part because it's so often absolutely not fitting to what is going on screen.
Oh wow! Like what? Give me an example.
There's amazing disconnect between it, and also a mixture of everything. Like you have something you might hear at a discotheque, or then you have something that sounds more like sea shanties, and you have everything in there.
Wow.
I don't know how many people worked on that soundtrack. I don't think it can be one person that's unless he has a split personality, because it doesn't really have any coherence.
It's almost like they were made completely in isolation, right?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And there was one cutscene that was kind of sad, I guess, because they were looking back at memories. And there was some happy music playing to that.
A beat. Fucking hell.
It's not even. The gameplay though I think is pretty good. It's that the combat system has one unique thing that I haven't seen yet in any other game. So the downside to leading up to that is it does have random encounters. Like old school random encounters.
Right.
But you have a mechanic that you can enable where the people you would encounter in your random encounter get saved up to a queue. And then you can choose to battle all of them at once. Like all the monsters, like for example, let's say you're running through the woods and you would encounter 2 wolves over and over and over again, which did happen. Instead, they get saved up into your queue and then you can say, okay, let's battle 20 of them at once. Let's just deal with it.
Very good system.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Karak, you heard? We were talking about that
Fantasia.
iPhone
Yeah.
Final Fantasy game. That's not
yeah.
Final
When I showed back up, that's what I heard. Yeah, that game is
I was also talking about
interesting.
how amazing the music is, or
Yeah.
the range
Well,
of music in there.
One thing you mentioned there, it always makes me think all the stuff we take for granted when we play a game, and there's so much work that goes into having the music respond to what's happening in game, and having this call and response that goes both ways, from the gameplay to the music and from the music to gameplay. And it's one of those like plumbing things. When it goes well, you don't notice it, but if it's missing or lacking, it's a huge problem, right? So it was just one of those things.
Well,
I don't think people think about.
I think what back in school, or in university, more like one thing that the teacher told us was along the lines of, good music you notice when it's missing, but it doesn't stand out on its own and take away from like their overall experience. While
Right.
bad music stands out on its own.
Like that Mortal Kombat trailer.
Yeah, for example.
We'll remember for a long time.
Dude, that was so bad. And I remember getting so much shit. People were calling me racist because I didn't like it. I'm like, dude, there's literally not a racist bone in my
There's
body.
no connection
But
to
I'm gonna
race.
tell you right
It's
now,
just
let's say that was a country song. I would hate it. If it didn't fit, I would have brought it up. Like it didn't fit.
Yeah.
It was just terrible. That was legitimately terrible music for a trailer. A trailer's got to hit, right? A trailer, man, you only got 30 seconds to 2 minutes in a trailer. That's all you've got. You got to nail it. And if you've got somebody who's like wiggity whack, it doesn't work with Mortal Kombat. Sorry, it's terrible. Then it was also mumble rap or something. I remember like, what is this? It's just, it's sort of taking a genre and then sub-genre from that as well and putting that in. And it creates too much of a disconnect between the normal watchers and, at least what I expected. I thought it was terrible. I'm glad they ended up, it didn't really do it again after that. It was just that one time. And I think they looked at it and they saw the response and were like, they're like the NFTs for Ubisoft. They're like, probably not a good idea. The NFT for Ubisoft, man, those things have done terrible.
Oh, they have, yeah.
God damn, my neck hurts. Oh, geez. Chat, what do you got? Any questions? Any topics? I also want to say thanks to everybody who's been here long-term, short-term as well, of course. But long-term, it's been pretty crazy to see people say this is the first time they've joined a podcast and find out that they have been a patron for like 2 years. I put the patron in there as well. Phantom's Rage, $10 super chat. Hope you and your families have a great Christmas and New Year when it comes. Much love from Scotland.
cheers.
I do an accent, but I'm terrible at them. Yeah. No, it's not even, that's just the same.
Yeah,
No, that's Irish, isn't it? I think that's the problem,
Is it?
right? Yeah, because
Yeah,
I watch
that's
too
the
many
thing.
cartoons. Like I watch Simpsons, and you see like he's obviously Irish, but you see what is his name? Yardkeeper Willie or whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
did
right,
Karak
yeah.
leave to take a dump? No, I'm sitting here right now, you weirdo. I said I
Let
had
me
to go
ask you
see who
this.
was knocking on the door. What?
Let me ask you this, because you were mentioning earlier, I think before we started, about how in reviews you talk about your scoring system. So rent, buy, wait for sale, and has the current way people play games changed how you think about that rating, or like how you would recommend games to a friend? Because now you have subscriptions, right? So,
Yeah.
is it worth on Game Pass? Is it worth it on like Uplay for 1 month if you have that? So, how do you think about recommending with all that in mind now? Has that changed your system for you?
No, I always watch it, but what it has had me do is just add to the current.
Yeah.
I can add a little context. So instead of saying buy, wait for sale, rent, never touch, if there's Game Pass, I can say buy, wait for sale, rent / Game Pass, and just put it in there as context. People are fine with it. I will say though that people, what's up, Indio? 149 super chat. I like it. He's always got the side price super chat. 149.57. By the way, if
Right.
anybody gets a chance, his Homeworld, did you guys see that? He was saying his Homeworld review just exploded recently. And it's
Nice.
an older review. Yeah. You guys should check it out. I'm assuming he got link, how it's like sometimes you'll leave a video and a suggested video will come up. I'm assuming that's what happened, but yeah, it was pretty cool to see somebody just end up seeing that kind of success. But yeah, it just a little bit more context right now. I will say I personally believe that some people are getting more lenient. So let me give you an example. Because of COVID, because it's such a bad time, people are like, there's a lot of times when you go on Twitter now where people are like, don't attack, don't say anything bad to anybody. You don't attack the devs. They didn't have a part in this. It's for sure the guy on top of them. These guys are perfect, blah, blah, blah. None of that's true, but I get the idea, and I think that idea also leaches into games where I did have somebody, no lie, who said the gunk was terrible, but I still played it to completion. And I'm like, that's when you know, at least for that person, things have changed. Because they're just accepting of a time waster versus accepting of a good time waster. And free games are allowing that. I mean, Reg will read the free games on a podcast, and sometimes it's not many, but most of the time I would say you're looking at more than 20. Not all of us have every subscription, but Xbox in particular, Ubisoft at times, some of these, for example, Ubisoft was offering 1 or 2 of the Assassin's Creed games for like a weekend. Guys, that's fucking 80 hours minimum of a game. That's ridiculous.
They have the free weekends fairly often.
Yeah, fairly often. And a high quality game. And when I mean quality, what I'm saying by that is we may not love them, but there's a lot going on. And you know that there'll be good cutscenes with voices and stuff like that. That's sort of what I mean. Willie is Scottish, not Irish. Yeah, you're right. I'm wrong.
Okay.
I will keep an eye on it, though, yeah, for reviews. I'll definitely... What I was talking to you guys prior is also understanding that with so many coming out, do you say impressions and just move on? Nobody watches some videos that I do, too. At all. And I hear people say I never got the alert. That does happen. For sure. But, like, there'll be a time where I'll be like, this video will do amazing. No lie. There's been multiple times this year. Halo's video reviews did terrible. And I don't mean just me. IGN. Everybody who reviews, their views were insanely low compared to like Days Gone. My Days Gone video got like 1.5 million views. And I think it's because reviews are handled a little different too. As in people see them different. Some people. So, yeah, it's sort of a cool time, but also a stressful one. Never quite know. Bad Dun says, you can ask me to recite lyrics from a bad Nirvana song. I can't do it. But Mortal Kombat song, I know it like the back of my hand. Oh, yeah. That is true. Man, the original Mortal Kombat movie was so good, too. Oh,
yeah.
So good. I love that movie with, let's see, who did it have? It had Highlander, right? Yeah, Highlander is Raiden. Yeah, that was so good.
Right, yeah.
What else do we got? Anything amazing to talk about? It's been a quiet week.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about like coming in and discussing everything, and it was like there hasn't been a ton of stuff this week. My Valve Index just turned up. Good for you, Colin. That's awesome, man.
Good stuff.
I
will say, have you guys started watching The Witcher? I think
no.
Reg has the
what
new
do you
season?
think? I have not. What are you thinking?
I've seen right now the first 7 episodes out of I don't know how many.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
I think it's only
There must be
8.
a lot. Okay,
it?
yeah. There can't be.
Okay.
I don't think it's like an old show.
Well,
There's
because
24.
they're long episodes.
Right. So what do
They
you guys
are,
think?
yeah.
It's different than the first season. Obviously, I like it insofar as I recognize a lot of places. Like stuff
Right.
is way more familiar to me than it was in the first season.
Okay.
Like there's lots of places we've seen in the we've seen in the games that you can see now re-envisioned for the screen for the series. And that's pretty cool. And also some story snippets that were also happening in the game. So it's more familiar than the first one, and less actiony. It's a slower pace.
What about you, Johnny? You agree?
Well, it's funny. I actually disagree. Well, not that I disagree. My experience was almost opposite to that because I read The Last Wish. That's the only book I listened to it. And The Last Wish, a lot of it So season 1 takes a lot from it. So
Mhm.
season 1 was quite familiar because I had read that book.
Right. Yeah.
I see.
Whereas season 2, I think, is pulling from a lot of other short stories aside from the first or the second episode. So I would say for me, it's been more enjoyable because it's a bit more fresh. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, where it's going to go. And I think there's less jumping around in terms of time skips. Season 1, even me knowing, because I had read the books and shit, or the book, but the time skips were really confusing because obviously Geralt doesn't change over time, right? So he could be in a scene and then the next scene could be like years after and you have no idea. So
Pain pill. Sorry, I have a migraine so bad it came on in the last
no
like
worries,
45 seconds. It's so bad that like I want to make sure people don't think I'm not paying attention. I am. I got to get a pain pill. Something's going on. So fucking A. So can't remember what I was gonna say. Sorry, I'm gonna get a pain pill.
no worries. Let me tell you this as well regarding the action. There's a different feel to the action scenes in season 2.
Like, is it
Yes.
more bombastic or less bombastic?
It is. It is more bombastic. So season
okay.
1 was a bit more uncut, a bit more like down to the ground or grounded action scenes.
Mm-hmm.
With how the movement is, and it seemed like less cuts and less like editing.
So
whereas season 2, sorry, just to finish,
that's all right.
It's a bit more like if you've seen any Guy Ritchie movies where they have like a rhythm to the action, and they kind of like speed things up and slow things down sometimes, and there's a lot more sign magic from Geralt and stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh, interesting. So he's doing actual more spells. Thank you very
Yes.
much. Remember in number 1, the show started with a really dark battle against the spider. You guys remember that?
Right. Yeah.
Would you say that that's more what we're getting in season 2 then? Is like more bombastic in that way? Like, are we seeing creatures as well? Or is it just people
Yes.
again?
There are
No,
more
it's-
creatures.
There's also creatures.
Oh, see, that makes that's exciting. That's exciting. That
Yeah.
makes me.
It is good. I'm not saying it's bad. By
I know
the
you're
way.
not. I know
it's
you're
just a different flavor. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a bit different flavor.
Yeah.
Okay. That my screen is frozen completely, saying that we are streaming still, but like so I can't see questions and stuff right now. I'm gonna reboot it, but not reboot, reset the browser. Yeah, I wanted to see it. So the first episode of the first season was really dark. That spider thing he fought, and I remember going like, I can't see shit, and that never popped up again in the rest of the show. As in, I didn't have those issues. But I'd always been like, man, I wanted him to fight more monsters. Like, it didn't seem like he was the Witcher. It seemed like he was the Bitcher. He's just walking around. Everything was
Right,
bad.
because there were like 2 big monster fights.
Yeah, I
and-
think there was like 2, and it was always the political about his daughter and the woman and all that stuff, which was cool.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see more. What were you saying,
I
Reg?
think there were like 3 or 4 monster fights in those 7 episodes.
No shit. Okay, well that's not a ton, but it's if you consider that having it be Monster Fight of the Week would also be stupid. That
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'll buy that. I'll buy that for $1. I'm excited to check it out. I like him. I think he's funny as how nerdy he is and stuff, and I think it's cool that he's such a big like gamer geek.
Yeah.
So to me, the idea of like supporting them in that. And I was telling Reg this, I think, but we were in the Discord and I was saying I don't care if I like the show as much that a fantasy show is doing well.
Yeah.
Because that means I'll
Yeah.
get more fantasy shows. And that's why I was so excited when Lord of the Rings did well. I remember as a kid, not as a kid, but I was like 17 or whatever when that came out. And I remember looking at it going, oh, that's awesome, because that means more fantasy movies might be made. And I'm a huge fantasy fan. Altered Carbon, you see sci-fi, cyberpunk, those kind of things. So to me, seeing Witcher do well just indicates there's a possibility of seeing others. And we did. We saw Wheel of Time, which I'm hearing is terrible.
Oh no.
Terrible.
Is it?
Yeah, no,
I've
it's
heard-
like...
I've seen that from multiple people.
Yeah, like it's... And we're not talking, oh, we like The Witcher more. It's like problematic in how bad it
Wow.
is. So, which is too bad because it's Amazon, right?
Mhm.
Dude,
Yeah.
what companies out there got the money to roll out a good, have the director look at it and be like, this is shit, let's refilm it. I mean, they've got the money,
Yeah.
but instead, it'll probably come out and then be banned. Not banned,
Fuck,
but canceled.
man.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Cavill though. He cracks me up, man. Because did you guys see me post? I don't know if you did, but I posted this in Discord. I was like, currently in a current situation, if I had a woman on my podcast and I was like, "How you doing? You're looking good." People be like, "Whoa, that's pretty leery." Henry Cavill will go on a morning show, and they will just accost him. It is creep level accosting. They'll be like, and the girls will be like, "How you doing?" Like just a bunch of drunk hags. And you're like, are you kidding? It's so weird how reversed it is.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he brings it up multiple times. And there was an episode, there's this spiel you can watch of him in interviews. And in one interview, he actually is like, he sort of just is like, "Are you going to ask me any questions about the show?" But he doesn't do it rude. Instead it's like,
no, he has this classy way of
he's got a classy way to,
disarming
right?
them.
And I think he said something like, that's also another question about the show, or something like that, which it wasn't, you know. And you see the woman go like, you know, and it's just so funny to see him do that. And they get raunchy with him, and I love that
the thirst is real, man.
I love that as a nerd, he doesn't take it and go and run with it. You know, he's like, "I'm fond of the popular kid." Instead, he brings it back and he talks about the show. And did you guys see the interview where he corrects everybody on The Witcher? Everybody.
Oh,
so when they're making the show, he's like, "Dude," they asked him, they're like, "Are you the biggest Witcher fan on the cast, on the, you know, who's filming it?" He's like, "Yes, for sure." He's like, "For sure. Like, I know every book. He's played the games multiple times through." I don't know if you guys know, he didn't know he got a job for Superman because he was playing a game and ignored the call from Zack Snyder that he got the part for Superman. And they were like, "Was it worth it?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, the game's awesome." Like, you're just like, wow, that is such a mind fuck to have somebody say that. But yeah, it's been great to see him sort of talk about all the things and how he deals with it and stuff. He's a very cool cat, man.
Yeah.
Pete Sampras' wife was Sonya Blade. Yes, she was. Pete Sampras' wife is hot as Sonya Blade. Will Young says, "Jesus Karak's dedicated. He was about to have a brain hemorrhage." Oh, dude. What better place to have a brain hemorrhage than on here? I could have stopped the podcast. I would have just been here by myself in pain. Might as well share it with you guys, right? Yeah. Sort of like herpes. Give it up. Give it around. What else do we got going on here? I dig how Henry Cavill really loves the Witcher lore. Absy says he maxed out charisma when he rolled.
Yeah,
it is true, man.
He got a good roll on the stats, man.
Dude, and have you ever seen a guy who looks like what they are? He looks like Superman. Remember Christopher Reeves? I'm a big Christopher Reeves fan, the original Superman.
Yes.
But he had that, you know, they've got the chin that looks like just it's
the
made
chin,
of granite,
yeah.
like they were, you know, originally with some presidents on a rock wall somewhere in America and were chiseled off so they could play a part. That's the way Cavill looks. He's got such a look for it. And I don't know if he looks like Witcher, though. That's the honest truth. I don't think he looks like Geralt.
I mean, at first, I didn't feel it. Like, it felt out of place. But now I have, like, a new version of The Witcher in my head that's him. And I don't think now anybody can kind of step into those shoes, if that makes sense. It's almost like...
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, the wig is a bit silly. But I'm now used to it, and you know I've grown fond to it.
Yeah. I mean, you got to dress somebody up, like Raiden. Christopher Lambert was the name I couldn't think because my brain was just. Yeah. But he was a Highlander, and he was, you know, there can be only one. Like that's where he comes from for me. That's everything he is, and he shows up in Raiden, you know, and like Mortal Kombat, and he says some random word. Can't see him because he's fucking visual. He's completely blind, and it didn't matter. I was still like, dude, he's Raiden to me. Some people just fit. Some people don't. Let's see. What else do we got? There was also Shadow and Bone. Yes, Shadow and Bone was not bad. I forgot. But guys, best show ever is finished filming. And I know no one will agree with me. And this is me giving you the finger. It is called Carnival Row Season 2, and it's finished filming, and the new season's coming out. And Nora and I can't get enough of it. It's the only thing we agree on in life.
I haven't seen that. That's the Orlando Bloom show.
It's Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
Dude, it's Legolas. If you said that guy could act, I'd say no. I mean, yes, he's been in a couple like rom-coms that were considered. I think he was in like Pride and Prejudice, or he was in one of those. You know, where they're like pip pip down your son, and you know they've got all the weird stupid shit going on. But Carnival Row's fucking legit, man. It's like Thief, the video game, mixed with Magic, mixed with, I can't tell the time frame, 1700s, 1800s, London.
Yeah.
So grim punk. Oh, it's so good, man. It's so, like the first scene, they have a sex scene. And I'm going to explain, I'm not just bringing up sex scene because of sex, which, well, might also be bringing it up because of that. He has a sex scene with a fairy. And so the fairies, the fae, are treated poorly. And so many of them are prostitutes or drug users or drug dealers, that kind of stuff. One of the guys has sex with a fairy, and this sounds really weird, but the sex they have could only be possible with a creature who can fly. I'll just say that much. And I remember going, oh, like I would not, if I was the director, I probably wouldn't have, it wouldn't have dawned on me to do that. But they did it in that, and I remember thinking, that's actually pretty sweet. Like they were showing like the
perks of being a fairy.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys have seen, Alien Nation is too old for you guys. I'm sure you guys haven't seen Alien Nation, but it's an old alien movie where aliens that are slaves of another race come to Earth and sort of become the dregs of society on Earth as well. They're treated poorly, blah, 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 but their prostitutes do something different as well because they're aliens and they've got, you know, other body parts. So it's just, I like the idea. I like people thinking that way through fantasy, like coming up with racial stuff that might exist because people have different, you know, body parts. Alien movies sometimes do it, but you don't see it a lot. With The Witcher, then, is the brunette in it?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I care about. No, I don't. But she's pretty. She's really pretty.
Yeah, she's pretty.
I can't wait to see it, man. I'm excited. 8 episodes, I mean? Is that what we're thinking? 8 episodes, hour long?
I think it is. Yeah, okay. They're quite girthy. Yeah.
Sorry, that surprised me. They're girthy.
There's something about that word. It's like it's never not used as an innuendo or something.
Yeah,
right?
it's never.
You can't say girthy for anything.
You can't,
that's
can
like...
you? You can't. Like if I say these golden grams are girthy, it's still sexual.
Yeah, you could talk about like steel beams or something, but someone would always like have a grin on their face while uttering that.
Rob says Shadow and Bone was really well done. I never read the books. I know a lot of people say they are. It's a very good show. It's a very good show. If you like the core of those books, I believe is what they said. So
I like the show quite a bit.
Oh, Shadow and Bone?
Yeah.
Dude, it was different, right?
Pretty cool, yeah.
I enjoyed it. Man, my neck. People who like the Wheel of Time books don't like the show.
No wonder, man. I mean, tough act to follow those books.
Bad Done Well
like
says, was
15?
that like a Tinkerbell type fairy? Yes, but full-sized. Not a miniature fairy. Not miniature fairy sex.
All right, yeah.
That's a good point.
Right.
And also, when you say fairy, depending on when you grew up, that used to be a negative word.
Yeah, because for me, it's like Peter Pan.
To me, it's Peter Pan too, but depending on your age, it can also, that also can be considered a bad word, but yeah. My friend has read the books and appreciates the show. Okay, cool. That pill just came back up. I like these shows that come out where they sort of spit it all out in the first season. And I know people are mad at Netflix because Netflix rightfully is fucked up. Those guys will cancel anything. I don't know what's going on at Netflix, but those dudes are just like, let's cancel that. And you'll be like, it's the #1 show, dude. Are you sure? And he's like, yeah, it's had its life. But I like it when they do that. In fact, they just canceled an anime, did they not? Super Headshot Man or Super Bebop Dude or whatever it was called. Headshot Man.
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop. I was close.
What's
the other one?
It was the live action.
The live action adaptation of
What's the other show? One Shot Man. One Hit Man. What's the one you were talking about?
One Punch Man is also one. One Punch Man. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's all right. I want to watch One Punch Man. I really liked your guys' explanation of it, but yeah, they canceled Cowboy Bebop, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. Any game. What game would you make into a TV? Okay, so here comes Amazon, and they're like, Reg, Johnny, we got some money.
We have too much money.
We have too much money. We're going to give people a chance.
We need some right
Let's go right
tax.
here, right now.
Yeah.
People in chat, I would like to know what you guys think as well. What is the one show that you would make based on a game? And don't just say a big popular game.
Yeah.
unless you have backing for it. What is a game that you would love to see and you feel could do well as a series?
I'm sure there are many. Right now, the one I'm thinking of that I would like to pitch to you is Outer Worlds. Okay.
I thought you were going to say
Pavarti
Final
main
Fantasy.
cast.
I'm sorry. I really thought you were going to say Final Fantasy.
No.
By the way, Johnny, all of my spiel prior to the question was towards you to stop you from saying Final Fantasy.
No, it's fine.
Okay,
no,
cool.
Honestly,
so
dude, the level of graphics in the remake,
you're pretty happy with that?
I prefer to stick with that versus like a live action.
Right. Okay, sorry, so I interrupted you.
Be...
So you were saying Outer
Okay, so this is the pitch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Outer Worlds.
Okay.
With Pavarti main cast, so most of your time is spent alongside Pavarti. And you have a love triangle interest with her and the mechanic girl that ends up actually romancing Pavarti in the game.
Right.
But you are actually, or you, whatever, like the main character in the show is, they are in love with Pavarti. So there's that tension, right? The triangle. And then you're going to the different planets exploring. You have these little like episodes
May
in
I
the
ask
different
you a question?
places.
Is why is Pavarti the main character? Just because you liked her story of
yes.
Okay.
Solely because I was into Pavarti while playing that game. I'm telling them what to do. That was the
curly,
deal.
big hair are my weakness. I don't know how to describe it. So her and the girl from Cyberpunk, which we've talked about multiple times. I just when I see them, I'm like, that's
Pan Am
or whatever. Yeah, that's an airline. You get my drift. What about you, Reg? What's a movie or what's a game that you would like to see as a show?
One to see. I don't know. One that I think would work would be Wasteland.
Oh, no shit.
Because the world is big and the setting is one where you could basically do endless episodes.
Dude, and post-apocalyptic don't do poorly. 100 was on for 8 seasons. So that would be cool. Post-apocalyptic. Would you have the main character would you have it be a main character?
Ranger. Yeah.
Dude, Wasteland would be better than Fallout too. By the way, and here's why. Fallout, they have a tendency to connect and tighten Fallout's locations and story. Wasteland's not like that. Wasteland has, in this last Wasteland, you get in a car and just drive around. So the idea, imagine the scenes where you guys are getting in those cars and, driving through the snow. It'd be hard to figure out where you would film it. But Wasteland's probably a better, my answer was going to be Thief. And the reason why is because I think that Garrett is the not justified style character, but he's a character that doesn't say a lot, but is fairly dangerous. And the idea of a heist TV show hasn't been done as much. We saw there's a show where they were all criminals and they were doing a heist and it was Tim Leverage, where there was a mini heist, or they weren't stealing stuff, but it was about these guys who had these particular skills doing something weekly. I like that. And the idea of Garrett doing a theft every week and going and getting info about the theft and trying to figure out how to get in. And what are you laughing at? You laughing at my idea?
No. Awesome. The theft of the week.
Oh, well, yeah, that is true. But I mean, did you like the Thief games, Reg?
I didn't really play them.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
All
right. Yeah. Say. Yeah, I mean, the other one I'm sure people will say was Splinter Cell, but I don't think current politics are very fun. That's just my personal belief. It
would be very
fantasy.
Charged. Yeah. Right. Politically charged.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do real quick. I'm going to try to read. A lot of people answer this. Somebody said he's too buffed for The Witcher. I think they're talking about Cavill, and I would agree that he, at first when you see him, he's so big that, well, by the way, did you guys see that they were remaking the Tom Cruise used to play him?
Oh.
And now they switched it out. The Tom Cruise, there were 3 of them, and it was Tom Cruise being...
Impossible?
No, it was the other one. Jack Reacher.
I don't know.
Jack Reacher.
Oh, Jack Reacher.
Oh, okay.
So in the books, Jack Reacher's 6'6", and he's huge, right? And this is what happened with Sahara as well, which was a Clive Cussler book where they got Matthew McConaughey's character correct, but his sidekick was quite literally not in any book. It didn't even make sense. He had the name of somebody, right? Jack Reacher, they replaced Tom Cruise, and the author has always hated Tom Cruise for taking that movie. He did not like Tom Cruise because Tom Cruise is 5'0",
Yeah.
And I think I love those movies.
I thought he was great.
I thought he was great,
yeah.
but I do get the idea. So for me, Thief, if you got somebody good to play, Thief is middle-aged, right? Garrett's middle-aged. He's never really a young guy, so I don't know who you'd get. But it's not. The only thing is I don't know if people would buy it because people want action and everything, right?
Would it need to be someone stealthy, or can you throw Liam Neeson there?
Oh, dude, Liam Neeson's like 80. Roll him out
As
in a
the
walker
thief.
and prop him up with a machine. I'm Garrett.
Just like heavy walking into locations.
By the
where
way,
everybody
the jiggle I'm doing
hears
is
him.
my bed right now because I have one of those beds. And it's like, yeah. I think it'd be awesome, though. Let's see. What else do we got?
Let me ask you this. So super quick follow-up
Well,
question.
let me read theirs.
Oh,
Hold your
sorry,
question.
go on.
No, that's all right. I just want to make sure I get them. We need a new Stargate show, Melissa says. Yes, we
Oh.
do.
Yeah.
There is a new Stargate show coming, by the way.
Oh.
Alien Nation was good. Who is this? DM McIntosh, you are my best friend right now. Fist bump. Alien Nation was good. I watched that in the 90s. The aliens had multiple hearts. That was another thing. So the aliens had a drug that turned them into monsters. And they were already very hard to kill because they had multiple hearts. And so it was this awesome cultural thing where they were the dregs, but they were also hired to kill people and stuff. It was a very, very good idea. Let's see. Atlantis was epic, Michelle says. She's talking about Stargate Atlantis. Okay, so Here we go. I'm trying to get to your guys' answers. Here we go. All right. Remnant from the Shadows. Remnant from the Shadows. I don't know what that is. I know Remnant.
Remnant? I think,
Wait, is
the
Remnant
game we
from the
played in
Shadows
co-op?
the
I think so.
subtitle? Oh, okay. That's a good, yeah. Grand Theft Auto? No. Sorry, Joe. Grand Theft Auto would, I mean, unless you just filmed a dude
It's a tough one.
around, nothing happens. He just beats up people and his wife cheats on
Driving around.
him. Legacy of Kain. Deus Ex.
Oh, okay,
Bro.
okay.
I'm going to go with
Yeah.
Layer
Oh,
Cake's
Cyberpunk.
answer.
Cyberpunk 2077, maybe.
That's true, but imagine Deus Ex, which is a little calmed down.
Similar setting. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, good answer. Ruiner, RDR2, Red Dead, obviously.
Yeah.
Skyrim. I do think I know people, I don't know if people gave Molotov shit for this answer because, everybody's mad at Skyrim all the time. I do actually think Skyrim would be a pretty cool world to have a show in. Legacy of Kain, Valkyrie Profile, Stalker. That's another.
Yeah.
Stalker would be
Great
would be
atmosphere for a
Mass
show.
Effect. Rob says, I forgot about Mass Effect too. These
Fuck
are good
yeah.
answers. Disco Elysium.
Dude, I would love that.
I would
shit.
love that, and I would love to do a podcast where all that the entire podcast was Silver arguing with the show. It's just Silver.
Oh, like
Disco Elysium, each
historic
episode.
accuracy.
Dude, he hates, he didn't mind, by the way, he didn't mind the game. I just think a show would be even more reactionary for him, and I would love to see it.
Right.
Lunch Money says, hey, Karak, what's wrong with your neck? Oh, it's a migraine. It's not, my neck hurts too, but let's see. I think I played too much VR. The honest answer is, I think yesterday I pulled a muscle because I was playing a lot. I played about 8 hours. Metal Gear Solid. That would be good.
Yeah.
I preferred the Nevers over Shadow and Bone. I've not seen the Nevers. I'd like to see a Fallout TV show or something. I think Absy's agreeing then with Reg. Shadowrun. Shadowrun would be more interesting than Cyberpunk. Do you guys know Shadowrun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. I have a hard time seeing any games or TV shows. Different mediums have different strengths, and when you take something out of a medium and put it in another, you lose a lot. Or you gain a bunch. Because, guys, I don't know if I agree with that. I've seen shows that are way better than their games/books. And I've read books based on games/movies that are also awesome. So I don't necessarily believe you shouldn't do this.
Yeah. And it's a great way for someone to experience the content in a way that they wouldn't have. Right?
For sure. Sleeping
Someone who
Dogs.
doesn't play.
Ooh. Good answer.
Yeah.
Sleeping Dogs. Wing Commander. And all these are good. Dude, now Alan Wake. No, I don't think Alan Wake would be super great just because of how they do things. Guys, these are good answers. Now all I'm thinking is how cool it would be. Thief with Tom Cruise? No. Come on, man. Come on, don't do me like that.
He needs to blow shit up. It has to
Dishonored.
be more.
Right?
Yeah.
Dishonored.
Yeah.
That would be. You could have a city. That would be very good. Live action Lost Planet would be awesome. By the way, who said that? Oh, Sleeve said it. Sleeve's here. Yeah. Hey, Sleeve, can you send me the link to the codes? By the way, I want to give away some free codes before we wrap this up. Kel says Jade Empire, please. I don't know if Kel's doing that just for my enjoyment, but I would agree with you, man. Jade Empire. Monkey Island.
Yeah.
Monkey Island would be difficult.
Yeah, it would be.
Sherlock was a great TV show. That's a good point about saying books can't. Dude, Sherlock, by the way, 4 Sherlock shows too. So, and they've all been, I personally believe they've all been good. I just got the old one, the BBC, the old one. I'm just starting to watch that. Dead Space as a TV show would be a Phantom Dust. Okay, now you guys might just be randomly saying names. I don't know. But Monster Hunter, no. Like, how would you do? Well, you could.
Well, it's
needs
easy.
some
The
structure
first 500 episodes would be them grinding the same episode, the same monster every
same
episode.
Monster. Can you imagine
until they
that
have
shit?
an armor, so they can go after the next monster.
I would kill to see that just for people to be like react to it. Already did, mate, and to Johnny in case you couldn't see it. Thank you very much. Hey, Johnny, do you think you can look at that list, man? Because I don't know if my brain's going to be able to parse a list. If you find something new, I'd like to give a code or two away of something slightly. Or what I'm saying is not the Steam shit, if that you get my drift, you know? Not like genital joust. Well, genital jousting might be worth giving away for Christmas.
Nothing wrong with that.
My God, give away genital jousting. Your grandma's over, your family, everybody's there, religious. They're singing, Christmas carols. And you're like, hey, I got this new game. You want to play it? Genital jousting.
The movie.
A comedy adaptation of Neptunia. I don't know what that is. Neptunia. Lucitin says Mass Effect is being made. Or Luteran says that. Is Mass Effect being made as a TV show?
Might be.
If it is, my day just got way better. I do want to say also thanks to everybody. I know that it's your Christmas as well. Hopefully we're giving you guys some enjoyment and you're here because you can't be there. But it's even better if you're here and you're ignoring your family. Go ahead.
Apparently, they're in talks with Amazon if they are doing a TV series about Mass Effect. So that seems to be the rumor.
Damn, man. Dude. I'm such a Mass Effect freak. And, ignoring Andromeda, I think Legend did a good job. Legendary. I think they did good. Other than not putting the multiplayer in, which I know everybody was a fan of, supposedly. I don't know if you guys ever heard that, but it's like Mass Effect 3's multiplayer was like legit. You couldn't get people to shut up about how good that was. I'm stuck at work, so this is a good break from the grind. Yeah, especially if you're a caregiver. You can just ignore the person calling for help. You can listen to us talk. It's the best way to handle a podcast, right? Peter Dinklage is trending. Why is that? Let me look this up real quick. So is Hulk Hogan. Man, please don't say Hulk Hogan died. Nope. Oh, people hate Hulk Hogan, but he's like a part of my life. He's like William Shatner. Either one of them die, I'm gonna freak. What else do we got? Got any other questions or anything?
Well, let me ask you something real quick, and then we can give a couple games away. But I was thinking, is it possible for a show to pull from the game style that we see sometimes? So think of like silent protagonist on a first-person game where everybody talks to you, right? And you see them in first-person view, but you never talk back, let's say. Could you actually do a TV show around that idea where you are actually like, in the middle of things and people are talking to you and you don't necessarily respond somehow, but, or maybe you do, maybe they give you a voice, but you are seeing things in first person all the time.
So here's why you can't, or why it hasn't worked. Did you guys see Doom?
Yes.
So there's my answer, right?
Okay, it was terrible.
Fucking horrendous. So you probably could, but I don't know if you could pull that off. I mean, it'd be difficult to pull that off.
Didn't they do a movie? Like, what was it called? Ready Player something?
Ready Player One. Ready Player One was, people still talked. Like,
right, yeah, no, exactly. It wasn't a full, like...
Okay, Hardcore Henry is another one, yeah. That was first person. Here's two things that haven't been done that I would like to see. I would like to see them try that. I have no issues with them trying it because maybe it'd work out. But I do... this is going to be weird. But this is not pandering. I really do believe that this would be amazing, and that is a deaf protagonist, a where they were using sign language for everything. I don't know why I like the idea. I had thought about it a couple months ago and was like, that would be. I don't know why, but I think people are more accustomed to subtitles than ever. Anime. I love Narcos. Can't understand a goddamn word they're saying 80% of the time, so you have to read the subtitles, right? Yeah. The idea of a deaf protagonist in something that was enjoyable, something that was probably action-packed, could be very cool. If they did it right, it could be very cool. And I actually don't... And by the way, I'm not saying don't play sound. God, I want to make sure nobody's thinking I'm saying that. You could still... I'm just saying using that as their primary... I just think that would be cool. I don't think it would be done, but... Wasn't there a terrible game with a deaf protagonist exclusive for PlayStation? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Something like A Quiet Place. There we go. Did you guys see A Quiet Place? The horror movie?
Yeah.
Or whatever it was called, psychological stress movie?
Yeah.
I guess? Yeah.
Sandra Bullock?
No. Sandra Bullock, that was Birdcage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Birdcage.
Wait, is it Bullock or Bullock?
Sandra B.
Yeah.
Man, my fucking neck is killing me. What do we got for giving away games? Anything amazing?
Okay. Well, I found a couple games that I think are excellent.
Just say one of them out loud, and we'll say.
So, Trine 4. I don't know if
Trine. Yeah, no, that's a good
Trine
game.
4. It's a very good and kind of fitting for the holiday season, where it's a bit sort of magical and stuff like that. So,
what game? What platform is that sucker on?
Steam.
All right, so everybody, we got a Steam code for Trine 4, The Nightmare Prince. Let's do a game. First person who can name 3 of my dogs. I'm sure only a couple people will even be able to name one, but there you go. You're going to have to work for these. First person who can name 3 of my dogs gets the Steam copy of Trine 4. Trine's always been good games, right? Yeah. Trine have always and very good graphically.
They've been pretty solid. Yeah.
Bob, what did it say? Bill Bob Leroy.
Bill Bob and Leroy.
That's a good try.
Roscoe.
Hey, what's the saying?
Okay,
you miss all
Abdi's
the
got
ones
one.
you don't.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good answer. Ming, Shadow, and Shut Up. Shut Up could be officially Loki Ming Lao. Kyler Stern just won. No. Kyler Stern. Can you do me a favor, Kyler? Should we have them follow you, Johnny, on how is it easiest to give a code out? Should we do Twitter or can you do it in here?
Let me see here. Is there a way to message someone on YouTube?
No, I don't think
if there's not, and do you have a Twitter? If you do, follow me.
Yes.
Or follow Johnny, either one of us, and say that it's you. We'll check, by the way.
So
I did have that.
Yeah.
I did. I've had people cheat
50
that
people
way.
say the
Okay.
same.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
it.
Bob.
So I'm leaving my Twitter handle in chat right
Awesome.
now. Whoever wins, just DM me. And
Yep,
I will
Kyler
give
says
the
he's
code.
got you. Kyler says he's got it. Cool.
Okay.
Good job, man. You were fast. Very fast. He got him right away. Even though
All right,
technically
cool.
Ming's dead, but I still call him my dog. He's still
It
here. in
still
spirit.
counts.
He's still here.
It's like Roach, it's like immortal. in
Right.
spirit.
Hey, did you guys know? I don't know why Roach is reminding me of this. Did you guys know there's 3 Walking Dead shows now? There's Walking Dead,
So
Fear
yeah.
the Walking Dead, and a new one, or somewhat new, that's another one. I didn't even know it. I just found out a couple days ago. Crazy, man.
No, I hadn't heard about that one.
Dude, imagine Kirkland writing that, and then realizing that that's going to be one of the most popular shows of all time. Have 3 series all running. Aaron says there's too many. No, there's not. Ignore them. Right? Somebody's getting their enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
The 3rd one is about dumb kids.
Oh,
Interesting. So it's a ACG themed.
ACG Origins.
Pretty sure there's more in production, BM says. MB. Sorry. BM is bowel movement. MB is nothing. I apologize.
oh man.
Yeah. All right. What else do we got? Any other cool news? Oh, do you guys want to see something cool I got? So, do you guys have an issue where you put your cell phone down, it might take you a second to find it? Maybe I'm the only one. But I lose my cell phone occasionally. Like, I'll put it in bed and it'll get in the blankets. Look at this shit. It's Deadpool with his ass hanging out. Whoops. And you put the phone facing out, and there's like 50 of these. They're fucking awesome, and they're only $19. So I bought one, and it's got, you can get ones with a charging station as well. This doesn't have it because I've.
That's amazing.
But yeah, it's pretty well done. The reason why I want to show you guys is it reminds me. Did you guys see the Discord link for the real life Gal Gadot model that they made for Wonder Woman? It's called Realistic Wonder Woman, and it is the greatest sculpt I've ever seen for what are these called? Statue, action
figurines kind of thing.
It looks like her. Like, it was unbelievable. Somebody posted it this morning in Discord, and I was just looking at it going, and they have an Arthur Morgan one from Red Dead that is
wow.
And with different beards that you can like pop off and like have a clean shave, long hair. Yeah, dude, you should look it up. It's but the Gal Gadot one is like not what do you call it when you see something and you're like it's not Uncanny Valley. It looks like Gal Gadot. It doesn't make you go ugh. It's like that well done. It's amazing, and also 18,000. No, it's not. It's 18,000 Hong Kong whatevers.
Yeah, Hong Kong dollars.
So like $5.
No, not that bad. But it is not what I thought it was. I saw that number as well, and I was like, what?
It's 2,410 US dollars.
Okay, scratch that. I thought it was like $200. It's $2,000 for a model.
2,000. Mm-hmm.
It better be real Gal Gadot, if you get my drift. Better be anatomically correct.
Well, it's 1/3 scale.
That's like
so it's 1/3.
It's about 5.5. Yeah, no, that ain't for me. Can't do it. I got Baby Yoda. Lunch Money says. Baby Yoda'd be pretty cool. Ronnie wants to know, Johnny, where do you find all these rad sweaters?
Yeah, just Amazon. Honestly, man, just looked for Christmas sweaters on Amazon. Yeah,
I'm just joking. It's not ugly. It's actually pretty cool. All right, here's a question for us. Brandon wants to know, and I won't give the normal answer I would normally give. What's a game in the last 10 years that each of you didn't care for that was widely praised? Feel free in chat.
I mean,
go ahead.
That's always the same answer for me. It's Breath of the Wild.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. What about you? What about you, Johnny?
Well, I've already said Disco Elysium many times. I'm trying to think if there's another one that's controversial.
Yeah, and I will not say Death Stranding. I'm trying to think of. Breath of the Wild's a pretty good answer, which is weird because I don't hate Breath of the Wild at all.
No, but I think it's so massively overrated. But yeah.
Aaron Wright says, on a random note, thanks for recommending Tales of Arise. About 90% finished now, loving the combat. Yeah, dude.
Oh, nice.
I'm glad you like it. Tales of Arise, by the way, I'm not a Tales fan. Reg is a Tales fan. I am not a Tales fan at all. I'm sort of the opposite.
Trails.
Sorry, he's Trails.
Oh, different
series.
Yeah. I don't know if you like Tales, but I'm not a huge Tales fan. And Tales of Arise is really
Tales stories are not that great.
Brandon says I didn't care for BioShock. That's a Dragon's Dogma. Get out of here, screwball.
That's a good one. I didn't really like BioShock that much. Like BioShock 1, I played it, I think this year, beginning of the year, for the first time. I love the story, the setting, very creative. But the gameplay, I didn't like it. I think some issues with the remaster edition, where there are things like the Big Daddies respawning all the time in the areas and things like that.
Right.
That wasn't in the original, I was told. I just didn't like that sort of thing. And there was something about the level design that had me kind of being aimless and having to retraverse or backtrack areas a lot. That I didn't think they did it in a very smart way, especially now that we're a bit spoiled, where games have done the backtracking very well with lots of quality of life things.
Yeah. Damn. Now, I mean, Johnny gave a real answer and backed it up. So now I feel like I have to back up my fucking Zelda one. So, because I just said Zelda. But, so all those are really good. Like, those are real reasons that I believe somebody could argue those, but those are real reasons, right? Like, that's not just you hating. I would say for me, for Breath of the Wild, performance was a big hit when it first came out. And I do need a performant game, because if it is not, you start getting pushed away. I will also say, I am sorry, everyone. Weapon degradation is not always
mechanic.
bad, but it's never amazing. And that game's weapon degradation is way more on the not good side. It's to the point to where it is a detriment to everything I experience in Zelda.
It's like a cock blocker.
It is. And Breath of the Wild has some great stuff, but every time, guys, every time you try to do something, your weapon break. It was the thing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It was like an enemy all on its own. And maybe that was the plan, but it did not turn out the way I would have liked. I felt that weapon degradation was... I mean, it sounds like Reg hates it in all games, and I think most people probably do, because why would you make a sword and have it break
even
all
in
the time?
the best case, where it lasts a pretty long while and then you can go somewhere to repair it, the question is still why? Because the repair cost is usually like cents. Like in
I guess
money.
there's an argument for like realism or immersion, like, you know, you're using the weapon a lot, like it's gonna...
Then you would sharpen your own blade probably on the road if you're actually a full-time warrior or something like that.
Well, did the enemy swords even break?
No.
That's another thing, right?
See, that's... Yes. Okay, so I was talking...
fucked.
Last night, we were talking in the D&D, or in the chat. I'm creating a D&D game. We're going to play it. We're going to record it and all this stuff. And one of the things popped up was, they were like, oh, do you have weapon degradation like Red Dead? And Breath of the Wild wasn't mentioned. The reason why I think Red Dead was mentioned was because my game's got guns as well, but Red Dead's degradation didn't stop you from killing people.
Yeah.
It lowered the damage. And I felt that was great. Red Dead didn't require you to... It helped you.
No, Red
if you
Dead
did.
system made sense insofar it made your weapon worse because you didn't properly care for the weapon.
Right. Versus
So
it
it
shattering like a
made
graham
sense.
cracker.
And you could just clean your weapon and it would be good again.
Right. Yeah, I think weapon degradation that lowers the damage max is probably the best kind. But when they shatter like graham crackers, it just makes the entire world feel like that, and it just doesn't work. Let's see. It looks like most people don't like weapon degradation in that game even. I know I've had some people argue for it, and their arguments always...
I mean, the prominent argument seems to be it gets you to try other weapons.
Jump into chat again. That was a blast.
That's Silver's line.
Yeah, so you hear this a lot where it forces you to try other weapons that you normally wouldn't.
No, it doesn't, because they break. That's the dumbest fucking... That makes no sense as a reason, Johnny. No, I'm not mad at you, Johnny.
Well, because
I get
sorry.
What did happen in action in the game? The weapon would break, I would go in the inventory and look for the next weapon I already had with the highest damage and just equip it, whatever it is.
Whatever. I don't want to... Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure Silver could argue it better on his side, because that's what was his argument. But
we're saying the weapons are pretty much very similar, just like with different damage, and switching to another one doesn't really...
Also, I'm not someone who likes to experiment with weapons or anything. Like, thinking back to Titanfall 2. I played the multiplayer quite a bit in that.
Mm-hmm.
And I maxed the level until you can reset your level stats. Like prestige it with the starting weapon. I didn't even try other weapons once. Like, I don't care for that. If I already have a weapon that works for me, I have no interest in trying any other.
Well, yeah, I would say you're, not necessarily in the minority, but that is an aspect that people enjoy, trying weapons and like exploring.
Well, then they can. But why?
They can, yeah.
You can that without your shit breaking.
Yes, yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
Lindsay just bought the Deadpool thing. I should get. I should have them give me some cash for. Yeah, no, they're awesome. I was just telling her. I was like, they're insanely cool. There's Iron Man, Deadpool. If you're like me, I lose my cell phone a lot. I don't know. I guess I just and I throw it. This has been my first live podcast finally after watching all this year. It's been a blast. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Oh,
And
cheers,
Rob,
man.
jump into chat. I think this is the
Yeah.
right Rob that was in chat last night. We had a blast. We sat and just talked old D&D games for like fucking 2 hours until people left. Reg signed out, or he went deaf. You know, where he turns his... Or wait a minute. No, you turn your mic off first. Then you turn both off, and then you disappeared. Like the old days where you just be like, I'm out. It's almost like when we talk about superhero. Well, no, you play D&D. It'd be better if we were talking D&D than superhero stuff, because you at least like D&D.
True.
Aaron says, Merry Christmas, by the way. Is Christmas here in Australia? It's Christmas everywhere now, isn't it? There's nobody who's... Christmas Eve. Sorry.
Yeah.
Kenny, Dead Rising has a lot of weapon durability. It does, and it was one of my biggest pet peeves. Do you know what was not my pet peeve? The timer. Ever. I saw people who were so mad that they couldn't do every single thing. And I was like, time that didn't bother me as much. So I guess maybe, in a way, somebody would argue that also is bad. But I did not have an issue in Dead Rising with the timer. But yeah, it did have weapon durability. I forgot all about it. Inventory weight. Oh, man. Inventory weight.
Well, that's the first thing I always
Mod
run
out.
into in any game.
Mod out.
And then mod out. Yeah, exactly.
But
I am a hoarder, and I want to hoard.
Lee's description of this is amazing. Inventory weight. It's fine to have 300 things, but 301? Oh, no. And that's so true. Right?
That's true.
299 pounds, you're fine. And you're sprinting, by the way. And your stamina, everything's normal.
You open up your inventory.
You're
you have
leaping.
15
You're doing
swords in
dances.
there,
Yeah, and you
20
grab a
armors.
tuna fish can, and suddenly your guy's one and can't quick travel, right?
Yep.
Because a lot of games will turn off the quick travel, and I love that. I do. It is dumb. They should, it should. And I've seen some games do this, where if you get to 3/4, you can't sprint, but you can still move and run. You just can't sprint, and then you go higher and higher. I like that, but I agree, especially Fallout games, man. Because I am a hoarder in Fallout. I'm like, I pick up everything in Fallout. Every gun, everything. And I'm always
I just hover everything up.
Wow.
Aaron says, if you have inventory weight, do Demon Souls, where you can send stuff to your storage on the spot. See, I don't like the idea of sending stuff to storage. I find that like a little bit of a cheat. I just think they should make it better.
Yeah. Dude, I had a friend that was like you, like he picked up everything in Fallout, but he refused to ever go to base. So he would be walking around over encumbered, and he would end up having to go back to the settlement like at a crawl.
At mile, yep. I have a Karak streams live video, and I believe it's Fallout 4, where everybody's so mad at me. They're like, drop a fucking thing of tuna. And I'm like, no. And I walked for... I had to have been 45 minutes to get back to base because I refused. But if a game will let you drop something, it will stay there forever, which I believe Fallouts are one of those games.
Yeah.
Then I'm okay with that because you can always drop some sword. And I have done
go
that.
Back, drop
I'll
shit,
find a rock and be like, I see this rock, I know where it is, and I'm tossing shit out. It's just a pile of swords. Have you guys ever noticed, though? You can knock a weapon out of a guy's hand. You can knock them out, steal their stuff, but they can't pick up a weapon. That's what's so weird. So you can drop weapons at your feet and destroy them, and they will run around without a weapon. And you're like, dude, there's some swords. Like throwing swords at him, going, here, take a sword. Challenge me. What were you? Sorry, Reg, go ahead.
No, that reminded me of some Breath of the Wild thing that someone figured out, or like one of those experiments someone did. I think they brought a monster towards the Master Sword, and then got the monster to pick it up.
No shit?
Yeah.
So monsters in that will pick up... Okay. Yeah,
if you smack their weapons out of their hand, they do pick it up again. So monsters in that definitely pick up their weapons.
Clean cut. I love Dragon's Dogma, but I'm not going to argue. The Dragon's Dogma UI is one of the worst UIs I've seen in an RPG. Dragon's Dogma's UI flummoxed me 40 hours in. No UI should be so confusing that you're still going, how do I get to turn the lamp on? Oh, you need oil, but it's the D-pad left twice, then down, then up, then... Oh. Yeah, it was terrible. Disaster. It was terrible. Valheim has a decent inventory system because you can also make a cart.
I mean...
Can you?
It's a pretty basic inventory system. Yeah, you do have a cart. You can put shit on and then you drag the cart.
Does it show you dragging the cart?
Yeah.
No shit. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
It
why
is pretty
I'm also
cool.
okay with horses in games where they have saddlebags.
Right. Yeah.
The motorbike in Days Gone.
It's gone.
Is it Days Gone? Yeah, the motorbike in Days Gone. You
Yes.
can add inventory slots.
Yeah.
I think that is, by the way,
That's cool.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Because what it does then is it also. So, have you ever played a game where like a horse is just there for travel? That's it, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, horses could be used for doing more damage if you have a sword for
Yeah.
running away from enemies, but games don't always use that. So when a game is like, hey, we're gonna make it so that this thing matters more to you, even if it's just now, I don't want them to make inventory terrible just so you use the horse, is what I'm saying. If it's balanced right, where the horse is an extension of inventory
Yeah.
and can sprint, that's pretty cool. I like that stuff. It's going to be very interesting to see how Elden Ring handles their horse for this very reason.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do? Because that horse is leaping Lenny Poffo, man. He's like a lucha libre from like wrestling. He's leaping,
Yes.
he's fucking flying. It looks like it's crazy. So the idea of that horse and inventory is going to be interesting. Kingdoms of Amalur UI was pretty rough. It was. All right, guys. This migraine hasn't gone away. So we're going to pretty much give away a game, and then I'm going to get going so I can go lay down. So what do we got for, what's another amazing, is there?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I found one that I personally like quite a lot, and it's Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. You
Lair.
understand?
Mhm.
Yeah. Very fun sort of action platformer game to come out, and we have a Steam code for it.
Steam code
So-
for that one?
Yeah. So what do we do here? How do they win?
Officially, what episode number is this?
Haha.
It's an
Do we
impossible.
even know?
Fucking no.
Check.
No, we don't. That's not the question, by the way, guys. No
Okay,
one
okay.
knows that answer. Dude, it's such an inside joke that a lot of people will be like, I don't get it. But those people who do get it will know. No one in history knows. 6969, maybe.
Yeah.
What do we got? Sarah says no one's getting that code. That's so fucking true.
It's
Number
true.
2, yeah. I didn't say good episodes because this would be number 2. What do we got for questions? Do we have anything that pops up? We could do a game question. We
Okay.
could do a game question.
Yeah.
I don't know. What kind of game question?
Drawing a blank.
Right, because it would have to be something a lot of people played, I guess.
Well, and that we would know the answer for as well.
We would know the answer.
Hey, Will, feel free to come into the Discord. I'll probably be in chat there once the migraine's gone. Hey, you know what? How many? No. No.
Oh, no.
There's going to be an Elix question about jetpacks, but I couldn't come up with like a solid thought. This is how bad it is. I should have.
How long can you fly with your jetpack? I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I got it. No.
Okay. No.
Trying to think
Well,
of something that you can.
Okay,
look at.
I'll propose one.
Right.
Could you play as Tifa in Final Fantasy VII Remake during the game at some point? Could
Thank
you control
That's
Tifa?
exactly the kind of question I was looking for, and you have the answer, right? You know the answer.
Yes.
Well, I mean, yeah, he would.
Imagine the abuse, the ritualistic abuse that Johnny would inflict on a
Guys,
Tifa
don't portray me as some kind of
full-size
monster
statue.
here.
Imagine
No.
the unacceptable, just
yeah.
pure abuse that Johnny would deliver to that full.
I
size.
refuse the notion
Well,
that
or
I have.
like a body pillow or something.
Colin says
Man.
yes.
Colin, the first one to say yes, you win. Yooka-Laylee. Hit me up
Hit him up
on
on Twitter.
And this is my handle. So just DM me there and I'll send you the code. Cheers.
And we'll give out some more codes in the next week or so. I apologize, people. It's a little hard to think of questions, which I should have worked on, but we didn't know we were doing the podcast until later, and I just didn't really, get a chance to do anything. But we will definitely give out some more. I do want to say thanks to Johnny and Reg for showing up. Thanks to Silver. He tried. He would always try, but he does have family coming together. And thanks to all you guys for showing up. It's been a blast. Thanks to these guys for being on podcast. We're well over 300 with these guys, just because we've deleted so many. But also thanks to some of the people who were on, like Go Burns. If you get a chance, check out his channel. Go Burns got to 18,000 subs. Did you guys see that? Or 13,000.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Big milestone.
Because it is. And, you know, he covers mostly Red Dead and mostly, you know, Rockstar. He's trying to cover some of the other stuff. But it's very cool to see because he's always plugging away. He's one of the few YouTube channels I have on, like, alert, you know, instant, whatever that one is, the notify all bell. And consistent, yeah, always releasing stuff. It's very cool of him. So he did well. Thanks to Alameen, who was on the podcast multiple times in the old days. Scotty R was on multiple times. Absy's been on. Citizen Sleeve's been on. Yeah, just thanks to all you guys, man. You make it worth it. Especially this year. Johnny and I were talking about this prior. Though you did see that we stepped away, or I've stepped away from doing a shit ton of podcasts. That is so that we can do more stuff for this channel, more podcasts for this channel, more giveaways, and sort of concentrate on this. And that also includes walking the walks and redoing the audio for those that you guys saw posted up. Probably next Walking the Walk, if I can swing it, is going to be Sleeping Dogs. So that's the interesting title. That's the one that I really want to cover. I think Sleeping Dogs has got a lot of cool stuff. I was such a big fan of that game. Did you guys play that, Sleeping Dogs?
A little bit.
Yep.
A little bit, yeah.
Not as big of a, like, didn't grab you super bunch, it sounds like.
I thought it was good, but something else was more shiny. I don't remember what game.
Some other shiny object.
Yeah.
Captured your attention.
That's true. So yeah, you guys will see us do that. But again, man, it's been awesome. Thanks for the super chats, guys. Moving over from Twitch was sort of a chance, and it's actually worked out really well moving over here. It hasn't really like increased subscribers or anything, but it's increased just what I consider to be everybody in one area. It's a little easier. Yeah. Somebody can watch a video and then see that we're live doing the podcast. Like, there's something about it. It's just a little bit more synergistic, and it's definitely helped. I really appreciate it. You'll be seeing some reviews from me. The patron will also see a podcast probably in the next 2 or 3 days for D&D. And then also just for patrons, as well as I'm still doing the just for patrons side videos as well. I just have not had a chance with all the reviews coming up. You guys will see Monster Hunter Rise.
Sweet.
That's coming out. God of War PC. I'll probably do a review for both of those. What else comes out in January? The big one. Uncharted, not the big one, but Uncharted Thieves Collection, I believe is what it's called.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to try to do a review for that because I just adore Lost Legacy and Uncharted 4, and it mixes those two, or puts those two out. Anyway, that'll be it for us. I appreciate it. You guys have anything to add? Johnny, what are you streaming? What are you doing today?
Oh, good. So tomorrow we're doing a charity stream again for the WWF, the Wildlife Foundation. And it's actually the Walking Dead Telltale series. We've just started our playthrough of that. Kind of first blind
That's a good one to play through. That's a good one to play through online. Very cool. Yeah, so check his stuff out. Reg has nothing, so don't check Reg's stuff out.
No, I'm probably just playing more Fantasian. Maybe also sometimes on the Discord.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah, that was fun to watch.
Jump in with us on the voice chat.
Yeah, more fun to joke and tease than it was as a game, I'm assuming. But it's still pretty fun. Yeah, the Discord's been awesome, man. We're doing more chats, game streams, and stuff like that. That'll be it for us. Peace out, everybody. Have an awesome Christmas. I hope you have a really good, enjoyable holiday.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And if you don't, well, that sucks. We're here for you.